Hi guys, welcome. I hope you're doing well today. I'm really hoping that I haven't fucked something up yet, but the odds are not in my favor. Uh, it is Friday. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It is our second ever Follow Friday. So, instructions are very clear on this one, guys. Go ahead. The link for T-Rex Trucking is pinned at the top of the chat. Please go and check him out. Sub to him right away. He is, I think, here, and we're going to be talking to him in a minute. You have to forgive me because I am really still learning about the collab cam or whatever, and I just have this refusal to use Streamlabs. I know it is off center. Let's fix that. Is that better? There we go. Um, I just refuse to use Streamlabs. I don't know why. Or StreamYard. I just won't. Even though they have a really, really good like collaboration camera situation. Anyways, uh what was I gonna say? Clock in for your shift. Hit the like button. Make sure that you've told us what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell us what you wish you had for dinner. Tell me what the temperature's like where you're at. It's about 59 degrees. I don't understand why T-Rex will be 30 seconds behind, but we'll see what happens. There may be dead air. We know I love to talk through dead air. Give me 1 second to bring him up on the screen. Actually, hold on. I might be able to just do that here. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's do this shit on the fly. There we go. There we go, T-Rex. That is the T-Rex cam right now. Maybe I can hear you if I have these on. If you're talking, I don't know. Um, oh, I see a mouse on T-Rex's screen, so somebody's there. Uh, why can't they make it? Oh, hold on. Oh no. Sorry, all my stuff changed a little bit because I got rid of I added the collab cam. Loud Elvis had pistachios as usual. Humble brag. Yeah, that is a humble brag there. Um, I don't know. What are we looking at on T-Rex's camera here? Let's take a bigger look here. Oh, it's a McDonald's, which we don't support anymore. Um, we'll see. It might take me actually changing properties, but maybe not. Who's that? Man, maybe we should just watch T-Rex's cam all night. That'd be fun. Anyways, guys, T-Rex is a friend of mine. We met in Houston and very good guy. So please go and check out his stream, his camera. See, I see him doing things. I'm going to turn that off for a second while he sorts that out. And we're going to talk about puppy farts. Tin Man? What? Uh, can you guys hear T-Rex? Because I can't hear T-Rex. Don't look at that McDonald's, Mikey. I won't. We're not even talking about it. It's not happening. What's frustrating is that earlier today, I tested all of this stuff with my phone and my computer, and it worked. So I don't know why it doesn't work now, but we're not looking at the McDonald's at all. What else? What else is that? I thought it was a booster juice, but I don't think that is a booster juice. I think it's like I don't know. T-Rex, we can't hear you. It's probably my fault, but I think it's your fault. Check your audio output settings or whatever. Regardless, we're going to talk a little bit about some um, court of the moment, I guess we'll call it. You know, when I get a text message from my sister asking me about a court case, it's hit the mainstream because she doesn't pay any attention to court, doesn't even like it when I try and show her funny court videos. So, my sister texted me earlier today asking if I am keeping up with this Ruby Frankie lady, and I think it's the YouTuber lady who is grim. Not sure if this is a trucker cam. I don't see any lot lizards. Wait, where'd it go? Did he turn? He's going off, and now he'll come back. We'll see. Um, so I haven't been paying much attention, but I did tell her that I would start paying attention now. I was like, oh yeah, of course. I felt bad. I was like, oh fuck. The one time she's interested in court, something about court, and I'm not following this. So that will be on the agenda going forward. I will do a little bit of looking into that, see what I can do. Um, give me 1 second here. The problem is actually, we almost don't need the audio for this first clip that I was planning on showing, but we need audio for it. Let me just see. I'm going to check it out again. Also, oh, we do have a contest going on today. Before I do that, this dress that I have is new. I hope you guys like it. Can you see it all? Can't really see there. It's super cute. I'm wearing my boots. How much did it cost? And we're going to do it in American dollars. How much did it cost in American dollars? Loud Elvis, KCC, how does your sister compare to me boob-wise? Bigger. Sashina's coming in with a $19.99. $800, Courtney. Shit, girl. You think I'm making a lot of money? Erica Thorpe, $29.99. Vicky says, very pretty. Thank you. $15. Now I might $29.99. Fuck, $800. That's like when Allie B from Tennessee was in here. I was doing this with my shoes. Sorry, T-Rex, 1 sec. I got distracted. When I was doing this with my shoes that I was wearing, and she was like, oh, could we get like a name brand? And I was like, no, bitch. No, because that's never gonna happen. I don't have name brand shoes, so no. And I love a deal. Melanie, welcome, $9.99. Good guess. $15.99 from Lisa Figueroa. And remember, these are US dollars you're guessing. US dollars. 2 pancakes, a beaver, and a can of Molson Golden beer. I don't know what Molson Golden is. I know what Molson beer is. T-Rex says 3647. T-Rex, why can't I? Thought. Bring it back in. Assign to source. Volume. Show on screen. Oh, I bet I hear you now, T-Rex.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's such good news, you guys. Okay, so T-Rex, what were you guessing? $36.99, did you say? $36.47. Is it new or secondhand?
Yeah.
It is brand new. Good question. That's a fair question. You want to see it again, Mikey? Is that what you said? It's very cute. I fucking love it. I'm super excited about it. In US, you meant $500, Courtney. Okay, well, still no. T-Rex, can you tell us where you are? Is that allowed? Can we know that? Let's see how long his delay is from hearing me to responding. Does everybody got their
delay? I'm trying to fix it.
No, that's not too bad. It's about like 17 seconds, 16 seconds.
Oh, it won't be that bad anymore.
No, that's great. Okay, so can you Mikey says $5. What a good guess. $25 from RLS. So your guess was 36.47, T-Rex?
That's
US? You think I would spend $36.47 on a dress?
I don't know. I just guessed a random number that isn't even because you like to do things like that.
It is not from Target, Denali Mike, because we don't have Target in Canada anymore. They came, they did not conquer, and they left. No more bets, folks. No more bets. I don't know what you win, Mikey, but you got it. It was $5, $5 US, and I'm very happy with my purchase. I might go back and buy another one. They had a different style. Yeah, what should the prize be? I don't know if you big winner, baby. That's right. Um, I love all of your guys' guesses though. You know I love a bargain. The shirt I wore yesterday, same thing, $5. Very good. So, T-Rex, can you hear me?
What's up? Yes.
Where are you?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Yes.
And you are there for work, obviously, not fun, just not hanging out in a parking lot.
Well, I do live in Ohio. That's a true fact.
Don't dox yourself.
People know I live in Central Ohio. Well, I technically live wherever the truck is, but like that's where I'm from.
Mayor, Mikey wins a free 1.5 minute membership to my OnlyFans.
1.5 minutes ain't that long, bro. I'm just saying.
That's true. It's not long enough for the amount of content that I have. No, I'm just joking. RLS, where did I get it? I got it at a store called London Drugs. Weird. They're mostly a drugstore, but they also have a very small clothing section that I really like. You guys are so bad. Great reminder though. I'm gonna be down in Orlando for the meetup to meet Mikey. T-Rex, you're coming later in Orlando, in October, right?
That is true.
It is true. Ohio is pretty in the fall. Is it pretty just in the fall or is it pretty all the time?
I think that Ohio gets a lot of well, there's a lot of Ohio slander out there because people think it's fun. I think it's unwarranted.
Do you? Well, can you inform me? Like, I'm a Canadian. Maybe I don't understand. I'm out snowshoeing and stuff. What's the slander?
Just that Ohio's boring, which I don't disagree with, but like boring is good sometimes. Like at least we're not in the news all the time like Florida.
Oh, a shot at Florida. But Florida gives us all so much entertainment.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's sorry, I'm just a little
Oh, now the truck's moving. Okay.
By this
Yeah,
flatbed that's just in the middle of nowhere.
God, please be careful.
I will be.
Yeah. Ohio's a speed trap hell. Does that mean like on the roads there's a lot of speed, like police officers?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say Indiana is worse for that.
Where's Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana.
Is that close to Ohio? Again.
Yeah, Indiana is like to the left of Ohio on the map.
Was that you?
It was him and then me.
Honking at each other?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Canada, where I live, you're not allowed to use your horn, okay?
I have two horns. I have a street horn and the air horn.
Okay, no, you can't. Horns are so bad.
Is it giving you PTSD flashbacks to the trucker protests?
Yeah, a little bit. We're not political on this channel, T-Rex. So we don't need to talk about my opinions on that and how I ended up down in Houston in a bit of a
Yeah.
pickle, in a bit of a political pickle, let's call it. Um,
Political pickle.
Again, I think it's quite obvious just how I am, but I guess progressive. I'm left leaning. I don't really know. I don't like to talk about it that much, but I did not appreciate the trucker protest, and I'll tell you the why. Because it was fucking loud. I could hear it from my house. It was busy as fuck. I just didn't like it. And I did tell you the one day I got really upset about it, and I went down and I personally made sure some people put on masks at the protest because I went around yelling about how the government was spraying us all with chemicals and they all need to be careful. And it sounded so outrageous and stupid that some of them started putting on masks. And I was literally like giggling to myself, like, yes, one at a time, I will have these stupid people put on masks. And no offense, everybody can have their own choices, but I just found that hilarious.
Tell us
I
how you
literally,
really feel.
oh, yeah, right? Ask me about my Fitbit that chemical burns me and I still buy them. Anyways, T-Rex, I don't know if you can, did you hook up some other audio so that you can hear the court, or did you just get going with this? Cause,
I did.
oh, Courtney, I have a video. I have a video of me doing that for like a while. Yeah. First of all, where I did that down at the Parliament buildings where we live, it's on the Inner Harbor, and we have a lot of float planes that fly in and out. So it's a restricted air zone, right? And so I used that to my advantage. I was like, look at the drones in the air. You know that the government had to approve that. The government is in charge of all of it, and they know everything. And everyone's like looking up, and I'm like, you see? They wouldn't have those up there if they didn't approve it, and they're spraying us all. Put on your masks.
Oh, jeez.
I'm an evil bitch. Anyways, and I do, and literally the best part of that day
Wait, you
was this
said it, not
woman.
me.
I am, but the best part of that day was this poor woman in a wheelchair who I spent quite a bit of time talking to. I convinced her to leave. I was like, you gotta get out of here, lady. Like, there's too many people around. Jesus Christ. Anyways. So, okay. So we're on the road. Is this what your channel is mostly? You driving and then talking as you drive? Or how can you explain a little bit about what your channel is? And that's a great reminder for anybody that's just getting here. Clock in for your shift for me by hitting that like button. But also, please check out the pinned comment up above on the chat, because that is the link to T-Rex's account. And I want you to subscribe, please. So go ahead, T-Rex, tell me.
Well, I don't talk in my videos. It's just the driving footage. I tend to try to stream when I can. Unfortunately, and we'll probably experience this tonight, cell phone coverage is very spotty out on the road.
Oh.
So if I do just randomly drop out, it's not because I hate you. It's because
I believe it's only because you hate me. It's only because you hate me.
Oh, you know. You know I do.
So, are you allowed to tell us what you're driving? Are you allowed to tell us what you're driving?
Like the type of truck, or what I have in the trailer?
No, the cargo.
I legitimately don't even know. It's frozen stuff.
Okay, first of all, did you learn nothing? Why are you driving things? I guess the rules aren't the same as like at the airport. Like, did you pack your own bag? Do you know what's in it? Did you pack your own truck? Do you know what's in it? No. The answer is no, I don't.
No, I don't. I legitimately don't. I mean, it's foodstuffs. That's not all I know.
Is it Uncrustables?
You know, it very well could be. It's going to Walmart.
Ooh, Uncrustables. Iowa Backyard Cam is here. She's listening and lurking with the phone charging and folding laundry. Still, you guys have been folding laundry for a while.
That is
Iowa is
way
also listed on my channels to look at because, again, I love my friends that have cool channels.
that's way more productive than I was today.
Who was?
Iowa was.
Oh, I know. She's got videos out. First of all, I also love like the intro and like just the production value of the videos makes me feel really fucking low, to be honest. I love it though.
Stop it!
It's hard. I wake up in the morning, or sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll just go into the critter cam and I'll be like, is there anything up? Like last night, I think I wrote like, come on, critters, don't fail me now. Now, okay, here I'm going to sound really stupid. Where in relation to Ohio
Probably not.
is Iowa?
Uh-huh.
Where are they in relation to each other?
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're going to make me sound stupid too now. It's west of Ohio, I know that. Iowa's in the middle of the country.
Mayor Wrench McNome says that it's maybe 3 states away. Would that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it's southwest of Illinois. Is that right, chat? I don't know.
Denali Mike is saying 2 states over. Again, this is why I need the map that I can pull down. Like that's life goals right now, getting that map. Anyway, so T-Rex, tell us how much longer do you have to drive tonight or until your next stop?
4 hours and 5 minutes.
Exactly?
Uh-huh.
Based upon DOT rules or based upon just what you know is going to happen?
Based upon what the GPS tells me. You see, I go where the GPS tells me to go, and if it screws up, I guess I'm shit out of luck. I don't know what I'd do if it took me to the wrong place.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this before when you've been sitting waiting for a load. That's what she said. And weren't getting paid for it. I mean, what would happen if your GPS turned you in the wrong direction? Would that be a problem? And Courtney, sorry, go on. And then Courtney has a really good question.
How long do you live in the truck at a time?
Okay, you're not supposed to read them. You're driving.
Shh.
I was going to read it out loud. So how long do you live in the truck at a time? Do you leave the truck running when you sleep? Also, yeah, tell us. I was just laughing at that picture you sent me of that dude sleeping outside of his truck.
Yeah, that was freaking ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know what he was up to.
Okay, now answer Courtney's questions. Do you want me to repeat them?
No, it's fine. I got it. So it really just depends on how long I feel like being out. The deal with the guy who owns the truck I drive is a minimum of 3 weeks at a time, and then I get 6 days off.
Sorry, did you say 21 on, 6 off?
Yeah, 3 weeks on, 21 days on, 6 days off. Yeah.
Okay. The Canadian in me is getting a little crazy.
But I mean, I get a 10-hour break every day, so it's not like I'm constantly driving.
So hold on, you get a 10-hour break every day, as in the time that you get to sleep?
Uh-huh. Yep. That is a thing.
Wow. Okay, that's not a break. That's called your life. And
that's the thing that you give up, right? I get paid pretty decently to not really have a social life. That's the trade-off.
Okay. Well, so we have a few other questions.
I didn't answer her other question.
You didn't answer her other question. You're failing already, and I'm fucking mad about it. No, seriously. Do you leave the truck running when you sleep?
So, I have what's called an auxiliary power unit, which is a smaller diesel engine that's strapped to the side of it.
An APU?
Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. Which is an auxiliary power unit. It's a smaller diesel engine that is strapped to the side of the truck. Uses a lot less diesel than running the big engine. And it is an electric generator and runs the heat and air conditioning. Um, it is more environmentally friendly than having to idle the big engine all night. Um, and there's actually what's called the APU exemption, which basically means the weight of that thing doesn't count towards the overall weight of the truck.
Okay, interesting. So, you know that I have worked in transportation before, and I managed like 35 or 40 bus drivers at one point. So we have very strict idling laws here. You can't be idling for even minutes, never mind overnight. That'd be inappropriate, completely illegal, in fact.
It depends on what state you're in. So, like New York has a no idle law for trucks, but other states don't care. Um, it really just depends on what state you're in. But with the APU, which is why my company equips all their trucks with them, it it allows us to have heat, air conditioning, electricity without running the big engine.
Okay. And so we're going to come back to talking about cooking in a little bit after this, but we have a couple other questions. So I'm going to read them to you. You just focus on the road. We have Denali Mike saying, "Do you ever encounter lot lizards?" Now, I and my innocent mind, is that some sort of reptile?
Oh, sure, your innocent mind. Yep, we all know.
Oh,
Um,
is it not? Could you maybe explain?
a lot lizard is a prostitute who trolls truck stops.
You don't say.
Um, and no, I have
So
not
answer the
seen
question.
one. I have not seen one. It's on my bucket list. I just want to freaking like at least like witness this thing. I'm convinced they don't exist anymore, personally. But I've been told that's not true. But I haven't seen one, and I've been doing this for 8 months. So
Have you been to
we'll see.
lotlizard.com though? Because most stuff has gone online.
I have not. No, that's not something that I probably will ever do either.
Oh, funny. Okay,
See,
here we
there's the
go.
thing, right? I don't want to catch all the diseases at once.
Oh, no, if you wanted that, you would go down to the villages in Florida, I heard. That's where
That's true.
that happens.
Yep.
Um, I am now writing down questions because I'm that fucking organized. But one other one that we have here from Lisa Figueroa is, have you ever gotten a ticket or hit a deer? I have a good deer hitting story after you answer the question.
Not in the truck.
You're talking about the deer or the ticket?
Both.
Okay, so not in the truck, but it's only been 8 months, so there's time. And speaking of that, we have a question from,
It's kind of.
it was Erica Thorpe.
It is kind of
What
hard
kind
to
of
get
truck
a.
is it?
It is a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia.
Shit, that sounds new and nice. Okay. Um, and sorry, go on about what you were gonna say about kind of hard to get a ticket
Oh,
in a
it's just
truck. Don't jinx yourself,
yeah, it's kind of
please.
hard. Oh well, I'm limited to 65 miles per hour. So, and most of the speed limits around are 70 to 75 to 80 miles per hour. So I'm not able to break the speed limit.
Like you have a governor in the car, in the truck, or you just have that rule.
Oh, it's governed. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, let me see. So, is that on all trucks or just new ones that they have like governors on there?
It's specific to my company.
Okay. And are you on I-70 right now?
I am not. I am on I-80.
I-80. Okay. I'm assuming that's about 10 miles away from I-70. I don't know how it works.
No, it's so in America the freeways, the east-west routes are even. starting with 90 at the top, and then 80, 70, 40, 20, and 10. And then odd number routes, so like 71, 77, they are north-south routes.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of recommendations about different lots where you can go to find lot lizards.
They all say that, but then I show up there and they're not there.
Okay, well, maybe you're being heedy and you don't even know it. I'm not sure why. But I'll write these down for you so that you can go check them out. Yeah, maybe like all those women that came up and talked to you, they weren't just being nice. Those are all lot lizards.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it.
Dude, I'm gonna say yeah. If they came and talked to you, oh my God. How big is your bed?
It's an extra long twin.
Extra long twin. That sounds like a slight your parents would say to you if you had a twin sibling. Well, this one's the extra long twin. Jesus Christ. Colin, hope you're doing well. We are on stream with T-Rex Trucking. He is driving, completely focused. Hundy P. Are there any male lot lizards? That's a really great question, too.
You know, I don't think they have to get paid. I mean, like, the thing is that, like, for the longest time, right, at the interstate highway rest areas, was the spot for, like, gay hookups back in the day, especially back then when it was more frowned upon.
And you know that how?
Culture. Zeitgeist.
I'm kidding.
Listen, you know, I'm only 27. I wasn't alive in the 80s.
They call them lot snakes, Courtney says. So we have a place that I'm not going to say the word, but you spell it F-A-G. The British talk about cigarettes like that. The Forest, which is like a place for hookups in the forest, basically, but it's actually in like a very popular park downtown. Yeah, so we don't have, but I guess we don't have like truck stops or anything like that. They drill the glory holes. Courtney, I love you so much. Seriously. Okay, I had another question. Do you sleep well on the truck? Do you find that comfortable? And as an addendum to this question, remember when I first met you and asked you if you do that thing where you like strap your seatbelt to be safe at night.
Yeah, I sleep fine. I mean, it's a little noisy with the refrigerated trailer running and the APU running. It's a little noisy, but I've gotten used to it at this point. And no, I don't do the seatbelt thing. I'm just not that worried about it. I tend to stop at the name brand truck stops that have security trolling through the lots 24/7. And also, it's just, I don't know. I don't think that criminals are, for the most part, stupid enough to try to break into a semi-truck. Because most of them are armed with some sort of weapon, whether that be, you know...
Hey.
I'm not
Don't start talking about that kind of shit. Look at this guy overtaking you.
Yeah, like I said, I can only go 65. The speed limit's 70.
And there he goes. Peace out. Does it cost money to stop at those main brand truck stops? I already know the answer to this from our previous conversations, but Sashina would really like to know. Can you explain that?
Yes and no. So there are reserve spots that you can pay for at Pilots, Flying J's, Loves doesn't do paid parking. Flying J, Pilot, Petro, and Travel America. it's usually about 20 to 25 bucks a night. And then there is a lot of free parking too. The problem in general is that there just isn't enough parking out there. So that's why you'll see a lot of trucks parked on the on and off ramp.
Oh, really? So we do have a question about the glory holes in the bathrooms. Do you have a lot of experience with those?
I don't.
Okay, well, that's a big
It's a
fail.
shame.
I'm gonna have to put an F on that
Mouth to
for
mouth though, right?
Seriously though, so you don't see any lot lizards. You gotta pay. Now, if you gotta pay $25 a night, what are they charging the lot lizards to prowl the lot?
You know,
I think you're staying at
probably
two
the,
nice places. You gotta get into the ghetto.
that's what I'm saying. Also, that's a question you should ask in English.
I should ask who?
English, that question.
Did I meet English? Should I know that person? I probably should.
Oh my God, you've already forgotten about English.
Oh, the pimp! I told you guys I met a pimp in Houston named English. Yeah, I remember him. I do remember that guy. Yeah, no. I have not talked to English again. So I was like, see, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember. Should I know him? Oh, the pimp named English, who was very enamored by me. That's very funny. I remember that.
That's true.
Okay, Jonathan also has a question, which I think is a good question, although the police might not agree. So I'm gonna break it down though. On average, how many hours a day do you drive?
That is entirely regulated by the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. I am allowed to drive a maximum of 8 hours before taking a 30-minute break, which
Are
is what I
those
will do.
cones on the road?
Yes, they are.
Okay, please be careful.
I am.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, I don't really care about that answer. What they really wanted to know was how many cops a day do you see when you're working? Like a rough average.
um, 7 to 10.
7 to 10 units?
Yeah.
So in the States, do the cops usually work alone? Like one cop in one car?
Uh, Depends on the department and how
Okay,
inexperienced the cop is.
I guess so. So maybe like one an hour, Jonathan say. That's I know we are still alive, Jesus Christ. Mikey, why wouldn't the poll work for you earlier? I'm asking Mikey a question from his earlier stream about why the poll wouldn't work. I probably could put up a poll, but you know what happens when I get near a poll. Um, so
Only good things I've heard.
yeah, right. Now, washer and dryer, do you have one?
Nope, no room.
No
That's
room.
the There's usually little there's usually little laundromats inside of most truck stops.
And so for security, do you have security? Like you have like maybe a gnome that comes around with you. I have a gnome that works in this room. Do you have a gnome that travels with you, or do you have anything else that you carry for security?
Let's not answer that question on YouTube.
Okay, fair enough. What about the gnome thing? I totally made it like funny by saying that. You could just say, yes, I have a
No, so
gnome.
here's the thing, right? I don't have gnomes. I have elves. I had
Okay.
this friend from Sweden that came and visited me. And she infected me with her elves, and so her
Ew.
elves see for me, but they also look out for me.
You know, I'm sure there's layers of innuendo and other shit that I don't get because I'm Canadian, but it seemed
Not
like
being 100% serious.
Sweden, I don't
Her little
understand what a
elves
Swedish
stole
girl would have it to do.
steal my thing.
Okay.
Elves in Sweden.
Elves in Sweden? I don't think so.
Little, little. You can literally get an elf spotting certificate in Sweden. It's a thing.
Okay. Tin Man has a really good question that I second. First of all, do you have emergency runaway truck ramps often where you drive? And secondly, I'm so hoping that you haven't, but have you ever had to use one yet? Oh, we coming into the dark area,
Repeat the
you
question.
guys.
It cut out a little bit.
Repeat the question. Okay. So have you ever had to use one of those emergency runaway truck ramps? And do they have them in flat areas?
No, so they're not in flat areas. They're only in the mountains. And no, I haven't had to use them. Only idiots have to use them. And
Knock
I'm
on
being
some wood.
100% serious. If you don't do a
Well,
proper trip, if you're riding your brakes, I mean, you just don't know how to drive a truck if you do this.
Well, I will say, living in the mountains of Canada, we have a lot of those truck runoff areas. I've never seen one used, but I have seen them there. Can you tell me, do they train you on that actively? Was there a section where they explained to you what to do if you had to use one?
Um, no. If you have to use
Okay,
a
that
runaway
seems like a
truck ramp,
problem.
your truck will be destroyed. I mean, you just point the truck in the ramp. It's very steep, usually a gravel pit or sand pit with big old speed bumps, designed to stop you and your truck, not really caring if the truck is destroyed or not. Also, you get charged when you use those. It's like they give you a ticket for using those because it means that you were going down a mountain with shoddy equipment.
Wow. Okay. That's sort of like when you're a parent and your kid calls you and says, "Hey, I've been drinking and I'm fucked up. Can you give me a ride home?" You go and get them, you bring them home, and you punish the shit out of them. Can't do that.
It was kind of like my dad's rule always was if you were drinking and you need a ride, I'll come get you, and then we'll deal with it in the morning. You've been through enough. Because at the end of the day, right, if a kid comes to you and is comfortable enough knowing that they're still going to get in trouble, they deserve a little bit of slack, I think.
Yeah,
Not all
but
the slack, just a little bit.
yeah, I don't know. Hold on. There was another few questions that I have. I have a few questions too. What's your favorite meal to make in the truck? But also tell us what appliances you have in the truck to make meals. And I'm gonna
Um,
make you big screen for a second. I gotta grab something, so I'm gonna make you take over the big screen, and I am still here, but I'm just letting you know that.
so I have an air fryer, a toaster, a hot plate, and a microwave and a refrigerator. I have a little mini crock pot thing. Honestly, my favorite meal to make it's really simple, or just like air fried chicken breast or air fried pork chops. Really
Okay,
simple
so
to make.
no George
Um,
Foreman grill.
really, not yet. I think I might get one eventually.
Well, I think you should get an
I was
instant pot.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I was gonna say. So I can follow along with you guys when you start doing the cook along streams.
We are going to be doing the cook along with your instant pot stream starting soon, especially for people that might be afraid of using an instant pot. Is anybody out there afraid to use their instant pot? I would love to hear from you because it is you specifically that we are going to help grow as a person. And Lisa, if you don't own one, you need to get one soon because and Courtney's scared. I know Courtney, but we're gonna get through it together. I think T-Rex, an Instant Pot could probably change your life on the road. I mean, it's self-contained, it's a plug, one plug. Um, it's good. It's got a removable thing that you can clean. Like, it's pretty good for traveling if you have electricity.
Yep. Um,
One of my
so
favorite recipes in the Instant Pot is actually porridge. You can make great porridge, you know?
is porridge the same thing as oatmeal? I've always been confused about that.
Porridge, parritch, Parritch would be another way of saying it in Scotland. Um, gruel, no, I'm just joking. Yeah, it is the same as oatmeal.
Okay.
And Denali, Mike, if you don't own one yet and you want this to be a cooking channel, go buy the Instant Pot so that you can cook along with us. It's going to be very fun. Um, so, oh, oh no, he's good. Um, so microwave, fridge, small freezer. We talked about this. It's a small freezer,
Mm-hmm.
not much room for even Uncrustables.
I make it work. Gotta have the
And air fryer, right?
air fryer, toaster, and hot plate.
Toaster and a hot plate. So, like, how many pots and pans do you have? Do you have like like a camping pot and pan set?
Oh no, I have a 1.5 pint saucepan and a couple different size skillets. But I really don't use them that often. I mostly just use the air fryer. Like you were saying the other day, air fryers are like a godsend. They're like universal. You can cook almost anything in them.
And you really don't need to add oil. That's the thing about them is like you can cook things that normally you
I
gotta
know.
deep fry.
Also, things that like you usually microwave, like frozen pizzas, throw them in the air fryer and they'll actually come out like crispy.
Okay, I'm sorry for your childhood when somebody made you microwave a frozen pizza.
I made it for myself. Listen,
And I'm just saying I'm sorry for that. That's sad. That's just sad.
you know, it takes too much time to preheat a real oven.
No, it
I'm
doesn't.
impatient and have ADHD. You should understand this.
I do. That's why I luckily have a convection oven, which cooks things faster. But I would never, ever microwave a pizza. Ever. Ever.
All right, I thought we didn't food shame around here. Come on.
No, we don't kink shame and we don't sleep shame, but we fucking food shame.
Oh, I see. I see.
I'm kidding. I'm honestly like perplexed. Like, oh, it's so much better in the air fryer. Yeah, la duh.
Yeah. Oh,
I told you
you know
guys
what?
recently. Okay, you go on. I'm gonna remember to tell my microwave story after. Keep going. You go.
All I was gonna say is try throwing one of your uncrustables in the toaster or
Ew.
something. It's really good. No, trust me, it's really good.
No, I have the perfect method for warming my Uncrustables, and it's my breasts.
No, I get that, but I'm talking about like a toasted PB and J. Freaking delicious.
That's true. I've made peanut butter and jelly cookies before that were really yummy. I'll say that. We do have a couple chefs in the chat. Could some of the chefs that are in the chat propose a good on the road meal that T-Rex might be able to finagle with the equipment that he has? I'd like to hear you guys think of something unique and delicious that he could eat on the road. Um, Again, he's got a microwave, a toaster, a hot plate, and an air fryer. Plus, I mean, you could almost do anything. You really
Yeah,
could. Like,
pretty
what
much.
you're only missing a pure oven for baking bread, I guess.
Hmm. I mean, you
That would
could
be a
use the
hilarious
air
like
fryer
YouTube
for
channel.
that.
The bed bread baking trucker.
You could get one of those like automate.
Oh, a
Man,
bread
I
maker.
can't
You
talk
could get a
tonight.
bread maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Jonathan said the same thing. You could get a bread maker. It's small enough. I don't think fresh bread on the road is worth that much. What I'm more talking about, like, for example, at Walmart here, they sell delicious spring rolls. They're vegetable spring rolls. They are $2.50 to buy like a pack of 12 of them or something like that. And they cook up in an air fryer in about 8 minutes. That's a go-to meal for me.
Great. I love that.
Yeah, I super love and like if I'm feeling pretty fancy, ooh, I might make some ramen. Have that alongside.
I like the spicy shrimp ramen.
Okay, so the ramen that I eat is Vietnamese ramen that the Vietnamese girl that I used to hook up with showed me, and it comes with a sauce packet that is shrimp oil, and it's delicious. So you can make it two ways. You can do the soup, like the standard ramen soup, but I also use it in a different way. He's frozen a little bit. We'll see if he catches up. Oh, there he is. I use it in a different way. So I'll cook the noodles in water. Then I'll drain them after about a minute and a half. I'll toss them in the frying pan and add in the shrimp oil, the seasoning packets, a little bit of MSG, and fry them up. Oh, soy sauce too. Delicious. That's like one of my favorite ones. Along with spring rolls, that's like going out for Chinese food.
Sounds fantastic.
So, can you tell us if they didn't train you on how to go up and down the off ramp thing? That's concerning to me. What did they train you on? What was the biggest thing they trained you on?
Pre-trip, making sure your equipment is good so that you never need to use one of those in the first place.
Was it pre-trip or was it paper? As in
Say that
filling
again.
out your paper. Was it pre-trip or was it paperwork? As in filling out your paperwork so that they don't get sued.
There's paper for pre-trip. It's just a thing that you have to memorize.
I see. Okay, Courtney asked, do you have cable? I think I know the answer to that, which is no, but you have YouTube, right?
No, I don't have cable, but I can pick up some of the over-the-air TV, um, and I also have Hulu, YouTube, Premium, um, Peacock, Disney Plus, and then my parents pay for cable, so I log into their account and can watch live TV using the Spectrum app.
Okay, Colin has mentioned something pretty important, saying that cable in a truck, that would be a one crazy long ass cable. You know
Way
what
too
we
long
meant,
cable.
Colin.
There is a lot of truckers do pay for a satellite dish network mounted on the back of their truck, and can get satellite TV basically anywhere they park. I just don't really. I never really watched cable to begin with, so I don't really see the point of it.
I mean, I haven't had cable in like 8, 10 years plus. Easy. But
Yeah.
I've had YouTube Premium for a long time.
Oh, it's totally worth it.
Yeah. Um, Now, internet, you're telling me is completely cell coverage?
Uh huh.
Okay. And so
5G.
oh, whoa, that's a bad word.
I
I'm
know,
just
right?
joking.
It's.
I'm
Did you
joking.
did you
I'm
yell
joking.
did you yell bad at those people at the thing?
I'm not even going to tell you what I yelled because I'm going to use it again. I'm using it again. That's how well it worked. I'm not going to let any of y'all know what my fucking magic words are to make you put on your masks. But um Also, y'all know I wear a mask still because my face is very, very uh, animated, let's say. I get in a lot of trouble making faces and just being me. And the amount of fucking, like, the hard times I got went down so much once I started wearing a mask more. Now I just wear it all the time. I really enjoy it. I'm just being
Never would
honest.
have guessed. Never would have guessed your face shows exactly what you're thinking.
Well, it doesn't show what I'm thinking. It shows what I want it to show, which is usually if you're a fucking idiot, why the fuck are you fucking saying that? Like, that's usually what I want to say to people, and it comes across that way. I'm pretty good at that. Direct
Yeah, I gotta say,
communication.
she gave me that look a lot when we were in Houston. She's like, "Did you really just fucking say that?"
I did. Again, I don't know. T-Rex might explain it a little bit better. When I travel,
Hmm.
I am over talkative. I don't know. I'm over talkative all the time, but I am pretty talkative. I love to talk to people on vacation. I love to talk to like locals, and I really don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. So, oftentimes
That's
people that are
true.
with me get very annoyed. They're like, "She's been talking to this homeless guy for 25 minutes." And then she just took him in to use the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And then at one point, I think I stole a water from somebody. I was like, give me your fucking water. You're sitting down doing nothing. This man is standing over here cleaning in 115 degrees. Give me your water. Jesus Christ.
That
That
used to
guy was
happen too.
nice.
Yep,
That guy was really nice. His
he
name was
was nice.
Anthony. He, it made me sad when I started talking to him and we talked for a while and I gave him the water. I gave him a Gatorade, I think, afterwards. Um, he was like, people don't talk to me. Like people, I've been homeless for 5 years. People don't talk to me. I'm like, are you getting paid to sweep up the sidewalk at least? No, he was doing it of his own free will. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, bud. Make me feel like a loser. Like he's out there doing community service in 115-degree heat and he's homeless. Like, okay, we should probably be looking at that. And again, the reason I asked if he got paid for that is because where I live, we do pay people to do that. There's a nonprofit organization that does that. Um, and that's why I asked. I honestly didn't believe that he personally kept that. Like he had the sweeping thing with the little whatever that is, the bucket. Anyways, I had a blast in Houston. I don't think it's going to be as hot in Florida, but I'm very hopeful.
Ah, you're funny. No,
Ouch.
it's it might not be as hot, but it's way more humid.
Oh, yeah, we don't like that. Here's the thing. Um, I'm pretty resilient. I can handle I can handle a lot. I do complain about it, and I also talk to everybody. That's the other thing. Like I'll talk to every staff member. I'm like, "Hi, how are you? Tell me about your life."
I love
It
your
can be
mail.
annoying
That's
for
so
people.
cute.
Anyways,
Um,
hold on. Okay. So is there a state you haven't been to yet? There's my question.
yeah, most of the Northeast states, so like Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, Rhode Island. I haven't been to North or South Dakota, and I haven't been to Wyoming or I've been through Montana, but there's not much in Montana, so I don't ever expect to actually have a delivery there.
In Montana, in its entirety?
Yeah, they have like three cities. They have like three cities total. Um, yes, it's not very populated. It's like Montana, Wyoming. One of those states is the least populated state in the union.
The American Union of States. I was like, the Union? What are you talking about? They have a union? Um,
I am
Oh,
American. That's true.
I know you are. Sashina, the teacher, thinks that it was South Dakota that has the less. Oh, sorry, Erica missed it. Can you repeat what you drive again, please, T-Rex?
Uh, is a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia.
2023 Freightliner Cascadia. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be yours if the price is right. No. Oh, I want him
$130,000.
$130,000. That sounds cheap.
Okay.
130,000 US, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean I'm used to buses, right? Like a double-decker bus is a lot of money. I used to rent double-decker buses. Uh, I would rent two, three double-decker buses and two low-floor or one-level buses for my cruise ship shuttle that I ran. And I paid $50,000 a month to rent those five buses. But that also included fuel and
That's a lot of
maintenance,
money.
but not the drivers at all. So for like a 4 month or 5 month
Oh, not
season,
the driver.
$200,000, right? Um,
That's a lot. Holy crap.
yeah, and do you know what the worst part is? So this is the funny thing. So when I worked for that transportation company, a private company, and we worked with the cruise lines, uh, the buses we rented were from the transit company, right? Like the regular transit company. And then I started working for the transit company in a different position, and I recognized quickly that they gave us the shittiest buses they had. Like literally, the AC
Of
wouldn't
course
work
they
on
did.
it. They fucked us. They fucked us over. Like seriously, I'm paying $50,000 a month and I'm getting the absolute shittiest buses. I used to have this direct line to the maintenance department of the transit company because I'd have to phone them up every week and be like, "Yeah, it's not starting. You got to come out." And that's because there's an external power switch on a lot of buses that you have to turn off once you
Yeah.
park it. Duh. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that like it's normal. These were bus drivers. They apparently didn't know that. It became part of my shift, like closing stuff, to like ask them, like, hey, did you fucking turn off the bus all the way? Like, all the way. You fucking
Oh,
assholes.
jeez.
Because, my responsibility was to have the ability to carry 600 to 800 passengers an hour on buses. Well, on a double
Yeah.
decker bus, I can fit 110 passengers, standing up mostly. Like you got seated, and then I can cram in up to 110. So if I only rent, and I only have three of those, so that's 300. And then the low floors are like 52. So again, I have to be sending each of those buses around twice in an hour to be able to hit my minimums that I'm contracted to hit. And when one bus doesn't work, two buses don't work, you fucked, you know? Um,
Yeah.
I've entertained many thousands of passengers in a parking lot, an empty parking lot, just like waiting for a bus to come, just fucking praying that this next bus is gonna come, right? Um, that does remind me to also any drivers out there, and I'm sure you know this too, T-Rex, right? Like, what if there is an accident, knock on wood, there isn't, but if there is an incident, the key factor is telling your boss about it right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
to
Yeah.
mitigate that. Yeah, sure, he says. I'm telling you, yes, the
No,
answer is
no, I
yes.
agree. Yeah, because their freight's going to be late, so they have to contact and be like, "Hey, our guy fucked up. Um, we'll figure this out."
Yeah. So when it was cruise ship passengers I was transporting, my call would have to go to the captain of the cruise ship. I would
Oh,
call the
yeah.
captain, And I would explain, Captain, I'm sorry, there's been XYZ that happened at wherever. So the bus is going to be an hour late. And they, fuel for a cruise ship is $10,000-15,000 per 20 minutes or half an hour. So just telling them that allows them to be to save like $30,000-40,000, right? But I remember I one time had this guy, and of course, so the cruise ship terminal is like well monitored, I guess you would say. Like it also T-Rex, I think your audio dropped off for some reason. But um the cruise ship place was well monitored, the cameras everywhere, probably because it's a fucking port. And so again, all I used to ask of my guys was please just tell me if there's an issue, just tell me and we'll figure it out. And one day I get a call from the owners of the port telling me that they had a video of one of my drivers running over um like a stanchion, like a metal pole basically. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they like emailed it to me and I'm like, "Oh, wow, yeah. I fucking definitely knew all about that." Get on the phone to the driver, like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you tell me you did this?" Because if I was able to call them and say, "Hey, we have a problem. This is what we need to do." That sounds so different than them calling me and being like, "Hey, why didn't you tell us this happened?" and me looking like an idiot. Anyways, I can't hear T-Rex anymore. I mean, I don't mind. I do a show by myself all day long. The video is still good, but I just don't see the audio. Um, I'm gonna look. So, Erica, can you tell me in the chat? You must work with transportation. You're talking a lot about different types of trucks, and I want to hear what's your experience in that industry? Can you tell me that while T-Rex is silent and I fix my lighting? Hold on. Plug it in. Let me read it. What did Erica say? Mayor, you used to drive a truck until you got a DWI that ended your driving career. Yeah, I could see that. Erica, you were a director of a sales and marketing for a finance company. You sold money to for clients to buy them all. Oh, okay, I understand. So you were involved in the purchase and the financing end of the trucking. I understand that. Like I've said, I've worked for three, four, four different transportation companies. I was an operations manager for large scale transportation operations. Um, we're talking like 30, 40 buses in an evening, thousands of passengers. Um, and, I really enjoyed it. It was, I was actually talking about this the other day. When I showed up for my first shift, I was wearing heels and like a nice outfit. And I like head down to the pier and there's all these bus drivers standing there, sort of like, who's this lady? And at the beginning, they were rough on me, but I won them over with my hard work ethic and the ability to shoot the shit, I guess. Like, I just didn't, I work well with men. Let's put it that way. Listen, T-Rex is silent. Oh, and he's gone. That's fine. We're going to watch a little bit of court while we wait. And this is an interesting court case. I don't think I've seen one like this before, and I want us all to come together and enjoy it. It is a translator case, okay? But not Spanish. So, give me 1 second. Presto. Shh. Um, I guess we could do it on the screen. T-Rex is probably going to try and come back in. I don't know how to make that happen. There we go. Show on stream. T-Rex, can you hear us?
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Can you talk again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Testing.
yeah.
Hello.
Testing. Yeah, we can hear you now. And Melanie, so I was just telling the story about when could you hear me the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when I was working with the bus drivers and I was running in heels and like, so the cool thing about that job was that what would happen is all week long I would coordinate with the cruise lines. I would tell them, yeah, you can sell this many tickets to go to the Busch Art Gardens, this many tickets to go to the castle, all the different tours that we operated. And then when they arrived, and of course, like I want them to sell more tickets. That's the business. So if they say, "Hey, can I sell more?" The answer is yes, right? I'll find a driver. I'll find a bus. You can sell what you need. And so, was that a bad shift or a burp, by the way?
That was my lane assist.
You cut out a little bit.
Basically, it's saying that I got too close to the left line.
Okay. Your truck talks to you. Anyways, so
It does. Makes all beeps and boops.
hold on. What is playing in the desktop audio? You, I guess it's you. Anyways,
Oh.
sorry, I'm just learning these things. The bus drivers, I'm trying to remember. Oh, so anyways, they would show up and this is how it would happen. So I had an app on my phone and I would track the ships as they were leaving wherever they left Alaska. And so it was the perfect job for me because I was never once late. Because the ship, I could track it. I would be like, I know how many knots they're going, I know how far they've got to go. I was always there first. And my staff was great. They set everything up. And then what would happen is the cruise ship would arrive, and the border control agents would go onto the ship and they would clear customs. And then the first people off the ship after they clear customs are the shore excursion managers. So those are the people that I've been talking with all week long, and they're coming to me with their final numbers. So when they come in and show me, hey, this is the final numbers, I have to do this quick math in my head about how many drivers do I have, how many buses do I have, and then go around and tell each driver how many passengers he needs to take. The margins are extremely small, which is shitty, but that's just the way it is. So, T-Rex, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this court that I'm about to play, but I don't
I'll
know
make it
if
happen.
maybe that'll put us in the same mood. Guys, I'm going to play this right now as a final reminder, or not a final reminder, but another reminder. If you're just getting here, please cock in for your shift by hitting the like button. And also, go ahead and click on the pinned link at the top of the chat to go and subscribe to T-Rex's channel. I love seeing my friends grow. I love seeing them do well on YouTube, and it is hard work. So every subscriber counts, and it would mean the world to me if you guys would go and subscribe to his channel. Obviously different content, but that is what this Friday or every second Friday, I don't know what we'll call this, is. It's not about court. It is about people that hang out here telling us what their passions are, what their fun things are that they do. And that is, that's what I want. That's what I want. Anyways, let's watch a little bit of this. As usual, I try to find no interpreter, but yet I think we have an interpreter here. And Melanie Copeland is saying that she slept with T-Rex. He's like ASMR. Melanie, that reminds me, I am working on an ASMR stream. I found an 1,800-page document that I can read out loud. Yay! Okay. Okay, T-Rex, I'm going to play this now. I don't think the audio is going to come through to you, but I trust you. You can make it happen. You might have to mute your mic if you do pull it up on its own, though.
I'll make it work.
Or I can mute you on this end, whatever. Friendship Fridays. That's such a good idea, Jonathan. I love it. Okay, here we go. T-Rex, I'll just tell you, it's an ASL interpreter.
Oh, okay. We love our sign language interpreters.
Oh, no problem. And Mr. Mivett said thank you to me. So
okay. All right. And Miss McDuffie, I will swear you in. We are now streaming live on YouTube. Miss McDuffie, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will translate from English to American Sign Language,
yes,
and from American Sign Language to English accurately and to the best of your ability?
I will.
Okay, thank you. Sir, good morning. My name is Judge John
Good morning.
Parker. I am with the Clayton County Magistrate Court. If you have questions at any time or you don't understand something that I said, just sign to our interpreter and she will let me know.
Sure.
You have been brought before the court this morning because of a charge that you face out in California. I am not aware of any charge.
Out in California. So again, not something we see all the time, ASL sign language interpreters in court, but I think it is obviously something that comes up sometimes.
Reminds me of this one clip. It was a politician. I forget who it was. They hired this person who was supposedly going to sign for them, and it turns out nobody bothered vetting them, and they didn't know sign language.
I remember. Oh my gosh. Honestly, that is so mean. That's like me showing up somewhere and being like, yeah, I can speak French or Spanish. No. Melanie, I know I don't think I've ever seen a sign language case either, but I really enjoy, and I think one of the things that we maybe don't realize with sign language, but also with interpreting in general, is that it's the interpreter's job to not only convey the words, but also the tone and the intent behind those words. Um, and so, especially with American Sign Language, you see a lot of, um, uh, God, what is the word? Animation on their face, let's say, animation in their signing, because they have to use that to get that message across to people. You have to imagine if you only translate in a monotone voice or in a monotone signing manner, half or more of what you're trying to get across might not go there. Expression. Yeah, Melanie, I think that's the word, expression. They're very expressive, right? How ballsy, first of all, let's just hold on. How ballsy do you have to be to fucking apply for, then accept a job translating for a language you don't know? That's Casey Anthony level, right? That's like show up and be like, how would you do that? Why would that baffles me? Anyways, let's continue on. I think T-Rex froze a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I would. Oh, also, who was it? Denali Mike. I should teach a new sign every week for a 1-minute stream. I'd love to do that. I need to be taught. I don't know them, but I'd happily learn and review with everybody. I think it's really important.
Charges that you have here in Clayton County, Georgia. But I need to advise you of your rights and ask you about whether you would agree to be extradited to California. So let me give you this information.
That's fine. Thank you.
First of all, this is a public
I feel
hearing.
like the judge is talking a little slower.
It is streamed live on YouTube.
I think he's talking his normal
So
interpreting speed, which is meant to be like slow. But I don't know. I appreciate it. Sometimes judges don't even pay attention and then it's too fast, right? I need to be watching her because I want to see how she does this. Her name is Anna McDuffie, by the way, guys.
do not give me any details.
Are you fucking kidding, YouTube Daddy? Come on now.
Details about your case or any personal details that I do not ask you for.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say during this proceeding could potentially be used against you at a later hearing. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be provided to you at no cost.
Thank you.
So the state of California has indicated that you have a charge of fraud in Shenandoah County. They have indicated they would like to extradite you to bring you back to California to face that charge.
Actually, Courtney, I think that's a really important point with ASL because there's no verbal interruption to the translation. She's able to interpret almost in real time. And again, kudos to her. I'm loving how she's doing this. But again, that's something that you can't have when you have to interpret from English to Spanish and then Spanish back to English. You got to wait for them to speak and then go on. And I think that's, you know, oh, that reminds me of a story. I'm going to write it down. But do you have something to say, T-Rex?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that in general, that like not only are the translators having to try to translate accurately, but a lot of times the structures of sentences and just words in general don't match up. So their job is a lot more difficult than you would, at least than I would think it was, to convey the same ideas.
Are you talking about sign language itself, or are you talking about any interpretation?
Just any interpretation, especially like from like English to Spanish or English to like German, especially.
Yeah, you know, Lisa's actually asked a really great question. Is sign language the same in all languages? No, it's not. What she's interpreting here is called American Sign Language, or ASL, but there are other forms of sign language. Again, it is incumbent upon, like, I think there's similarities, let's put it that way. So in a same way where you realize that some languages are rooted in the same base language, I think sign language is rooted in some similarities, but they have their own dialects. So Courtney's even written here that even Hawaii has its own dialect of ASL. No, that was sort of rude. This means whatever that means. But so Jonathan's saying sign language is structured differently. You have to build the context before characters can do something. You might have the why before you get the what. Okay, interesting. And you know, in English, I wonder what French sign language looks like. I'm gonna write that down. We'll look that up in a minute.
There's also like even differences between like different English-speaking nations and their sign language. Like British
no, absolutely
sign language is different.
Yeah. Again, I have a story to tell. I've written it down so I won't forget. But let's keep watching this hearing, see what happens, and we'll go from there.
You have a decision to make today as to whether you voluntarily agree that California can come and pick you up, or whether you would like to contest the extradition. Contesting extradition means you would be taking the position that California legally cannot bring you back to California. I want to give you information on this choice so that you can tell me at the end whether you will waive extradition and agree to be voluntarily taken back to California, or whether you want to contest or fight the extradition. If you contest extradition, you would be held in the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant would be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to California. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so. As you are wanted by California, I am not allowing a bond this morning. If you do not wish to be voluntarily returned to California, you may file a petition called a writ of habeas corpus. That contests the extradition. However, that petition can only contest 4 issues. The first is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. The second is whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in California. The third is whether you are the person named in California's request for extradition. And the fourth is whether you are, in fact, a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence while here in Georgia. That will have to be decided by a California court. You are entitled to the advice of an attorney in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to contest extradition. If California is unable to extradite you within 30 days and you are contesting the extradition, California would be given an additional 60 days to complete the extradition process. If that process is not completed within those 90 days, then you would be released from jail. If you are agreeing to waive extradition, and that is you are agreeing that California can come and pick you up, then California would only have that initial 30-day period to do so. If you waive extradition and they do not pick you up within 30 days, then you would be released from the Clayton County Jail. Would you like to waive extradition, which gives California 30 days to come and get you? Or would you like to contest extradition, which may give them up to 90 days to come and get you?
I would rather just waive extradition and go ahead and go.
Okay. So if they have not picked you up within 30 days, then you will be released. The deputies there will have a waiver form for you to sign. There it is. And you will have to sign it several times.
One moment. I don't want
Oh,
to.
sorry. Gotcha.
Hold on. Can you wait?
Okay.
That's okay.
And they will send the forms to me to sign this morning as well. Do you have any questions for me?
Are they going to pick me up today?
I do not know when they will actually pick you up. I only know that they will have a 30-day period to do so.
$30 is like 3 weeks, right?
A little over 4 weeks.
Okay, so my job at UPS, I have a job. I'm a union member. And my job at I have a job at UPS, still there at UPS, and I'm a union member in California.
I cannot do anything about your charge in California. That is only up to a California court. The only business that I have this morning with this case is whether you are agreeing that they can come pick you up or whether you are going to contest the extradition.
Okay. Yeah, I have to talk to my union. You said 3 months, I might lose my job. I'd have to let them know.
Okay,
Yeah.
30 days.
T-Rex, did you put on a video?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, unfortunately the camera.
Yeah, I just have to let my job know at UPS. They don't know what's happened to me here.
I understand.
Oh.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
Yes. So you mean if I go and they pick me up and I go, they're going to come pick me up, or I go to California?
California will arrange for you to be picked up and transported back to California.
Are they going to come pick me up and then I go with them, or I go by myself?
You will be picked up.
Okay. So I just have to wait and just be patient. I can't really do anything myself. I just feel I'm worried. I'm really worried. And I'm very stressed. I'm a little stressed.
Yes, sir. I understand. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, I'm sensitive. Yeah, I do have another question. I need to be able to make a phone call through a video phone or something for deaf people in the jail, so I can make phone calls and let my boss know what's happening.
Sorry, T-Rex, go ahead. And Jonathan, you just said this. First of all, again, I just think, I don't know why this to me is so, like, it's beautiful. to me. Like the way she's watching him and really trying to relay what he's saying, and you get that vibe. What were you gonna say, T-Rex?
I was just saying I'd be stressed too if I was in jail and gonna lose my job probably.
Yeah, I mean, but what a good question and good point. He is going to need to use a relay service. That's what Jonathan said here. He'll need an interpreter or the number to a relay to reach his job. So as far as I am aware, a relay service would be, well, how would that even work on a phone? How would that even work? Somebody's going to need to explain that to me. Talk to type with T9? Like on a phone where you like have to hit 7 3 times? Wow.
I think that there is a service where you can like type into this like thing.
Oh,
and
talk
it'll,
to
like,
type.
Yeah.
But do they have those at the jail? But Courtney, he can't speak. My point is like, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say like he can't. How at the jail would he initiate the conversation to be translated is my question. Because I don't think that they have all of those. Also, Vicky, T-Rex has put on a video for us since his video stopped from before. But this is another great look at one of the videos that T-Rex has. I love it. I love the look. Is your camera mounted inside on the dashboard?
It is, yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yep.
What camera are you using?
It's a GoPro Hero 8.
Okay, humble brag. No. Melanie, I do think that by law they may have to have some accommodation for him. I mean, I'm perplexed. We'll see what this judge says here. Denali Mike says your camera is nice. It is nice. Melanie, it's not daylight. This is an older video. We're playing T-Rex's live audio, but the video is a previously recorded afternoon or evening. You think they have a talk to type, or what is it? TTY. What is? I said it before. Talk. What is the Y? No, what's the Y? What does the Y stand for?
Yellow.
Yellow. Y'all. Young. Yes. Yuppers.
I was gonna say yuppers.
YOLO. Seriously, somebody gotta fill in the Y word before I keep going. TTY actually stands for teletypewriters. I'm still not getting the Y, Tin Man.
Yeah,
still not
why
getting
is
the
there
Y.
a Y there?
Also, the hotel I stayed at in Houston was an old phone exchange, and they had giant like telephone, like those old switchboards in the lobby. I was like, look at all the buttons. I wanted to press them all. As in teletype. So capital T, E-L-E, and then T-Y-P-E. Okay. I will give that. Okay.
I disagree with that acronym.
You disagree with that acronym? Well, you're from Ohio. And Beverly Bradford says
that is the exact type of Ohio slander that I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't even know about it. That just came naturally to me. It makes sense. It does make sense. And Beverly Bradford says new cell phones have RTT or real-time text. Again, guys, like Sashina said it earlier, it would be a very lonely place in prison as a deaf person. Very difficult. Presto, what did you say? I'm going to scroll up. So the jail has a service that lets you send emails and a video call system in Georgia. But is that in the jail where you're being held pre-trial, or is that in the jail like when you're incarcerated after conviction, because I find it hard to believe that they would provide that type of service to pre-trial people. It's at all jails, Presto. Okay, well, color me wrong. Anyways, okay. Lisa says both as well. All right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And they have to have them in the jails because of the ADA, which does make sense. You know, I'm not mad about that. I want that to be provided to people. Again, I love this interpreter lady. I don't know why. Like, I just get such a good vibe from her. I can't understand her any better than I can understand the Spanish interpreter lady, but I like this lady a lot better for some reason. I don't know why. She is beautiful. Maybe that's it. Maybe I like her green
Spanish
background.
interpreter from last night was hilarious.
Spanish interpreters are the bane of my existence. Just reminding me that I fucking failed. If you're in city court or county, you go to the same place. But presto, my point is pre-trial, as in arrest to trial versus convicted and incarcerated. I thought would need maybe different circumstances. Like one's jail versus one is, but see, prison is just for over 2 years, right? She has the same shirt as the inmate, but black, Courtney. You're right. Maybe that's part of her translation service. She changes into a similar outfit. Anyways, let's finish this one off. Then I've got a story to tell about sign language, and then we'll see where we're getting. Okay?
Let's go.
Hit play, kids. God damn it.
We'll have to speak to the folks at the jail about that. I cannot help you with that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I do have another question. I just want to know, can you explain to me about, somebody said something to me about probation. Am I on probation?
The only information I have about what is going on in California is that there is a charge of fraud out of Shenandoah County. I do not know anything else about your charge in California.
Wow. I think I saw her do a little hand up stop there to him. I realize what's happening. She's hearing in English from the judge, translating almost real time, also watching the gentleman as he speaks to her again. Wow. That's intense. That's a lot going on at once for her. Presto, absolutely. I want love to have you on to talk about Playco. Again, there's also a level of trust with interpreters that I think we don't see as much with the language, but we can really see when it's in sign language, about really trying to convey the real meaning behind somebody's words, you know? And Mayor said that when you had an experience in a jail that they had TTY phones there, which is good. That's really important. That's good. I'm glad for that. It is sometimes just the little things that make a huge difference to somebody like that. I don't appreciate that the judge didn't know that. Personally, I think that I don't know, as the gatekeepers of judicial integrity, that they should make a point of that, to know that. But I guess they could trust the jail. I wouldn't.
Never trust the government.
Except when they tell you to wear a mask.
Details about your case or any
well,
personal
at least
details
never
that I do not
blindly
ask you
trust
for.
anyone, is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say during this proceeding could potentially be used against you at a later hearing. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be provided to you at no cost.
Thank you.
So the state of California has indicated that you have a charge of fraud in Shenandoah County. They have indicated they would like to extradite you to bring you back to California to face that charge. You have a decision to make today as to whether you voluntarily agree that California can come and pick you up, or whether you would like to contest the extradition.
The world's end is here. Hello, friend. Please make sure you're subbed to the new channel. I think you are, but please make sure you are. I'm so glad to see you. Hope you are well today. I had some potato scones today. Very Scottish of me. I have my good friend T-Rex Trucking on the show today. He's showing us some videos from many other truck streams that he's done, but the link to his channel is pinned in the comments, and I would love it if you guys would please follow him. Makes me so happy when my friends' channels grow. Seriously. So make sure that we sub to him. Also, I'll mention it a little bit, but we're almost at 300 subs with this channel, and that would be a fun thing to celebrate. So if you're not already subbed with all of your channels, all of your accounts, now would be the time, because we're...
That's true.
I'm so excited! T-Rex, we're at 301!
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Oh shit! Yeah! Hell yeah! Okay.
Also,
So happy.
we're almost at 2 hours, so it is a good time for a med check.
Oh, med check. Thank you, T-Rex, for reminding us. That is a good time for a med check, folks. That means if you take meds, think about taking them. If you don't, come down to the chat and let us know what that's like. We would love to hear it. Everybody here requires their meds, including me. We're going to finish this case. I have 2 stories to talk about here. Approaching 2 hours, we've done 1 court case. But that's okay. That's not what this stream is about. This stream is about hanging out with friends and just having a good time. So, like I said, please take your meds, sub to the channel, sub to T-Rex's channel, and like the video, and let's keep going. It's Friday night, guys. Yay!
It's Friday night.
Oh my God, it's like I mentioned it, and it's like, yes, bitch, it is Friday.
About your case or any personal details that I do not ask you for.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say during this proceeding could potentially be used against you at a later hearing. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be provided to you at no cost.
Hold on. Did we jump back? Because we've already done. Yeah, we
so
did.
the state of
What the fuck?
California has indicated.
Yeah,
Why is
I
this
don't have any
happening?
knowledge of this.
In California.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we watched this part already.
We did. I've put us back to where we were now. I'm all distracted because I have 300 subs.
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of this.
That is
Yeah.
all. That is all that I know, and that there is a warrant. That is why you were picked up. That is all that I know.
That's awesome, Tin Man. I'm so glad.
I see.
Okay. Do you have
I
any other
see.
questions?
Yeah, I'm just so disappointed, but yeah, I do understand, and I just feel a little stressed. I'm worried.
Okay. Okay. That will take care of everything this morning. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And Miss McDuffie, thank you very much.
Thank you. May I be dismissed?
Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Have a good weekend.
Thank you too.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So, hold on. We're going to switch screens just for a second. Off it. T-Rex, are you still in Ohio?
What's up? Yeah, Ohio's pretty big.
I don't know. I'm asking. Please note the video from T-Rex is not live. That's what we're watching right now. But I am live. He's live in the truck.
I think
Tell us what you
I
think.
think that video is in Tennessee.
Tennessee,
I could be wrong.
baby.
I don't remember which one I picked.
Now,
Still
okay.
133 miles of Ohio left to drive through.
Okay, again, into kilometers. You know I can't understand
That
miles. No,
Chat,
don't
I
do
need
that.
you to do that for
The
me.
chat will have to do that. He can't do that while driving. I just love seeing all these trucks overtake you all the time.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's mildly annoying.
So the note that I have here for myself here is about a court case, a local court case, mind you, okay. So here's the thing. The Hells Angels.
Tell us.
You've heard about them?
The motorcycle club?
Yes. Oh, that's a very, very nuanced way of putting it.
Yes.
They are
What
incredibly
they prefer.
litigious. Let's just say that to start. They are one of the most litigious organizations out there. And there's a lot of activity where I live from them. Just the way it is. No? Oh, well, yes. So, anyways, there are multiple clubhouses in Victoria where I live, also in Nanaimo. And I'm going to read a little article that I was reminded of recently when we were just watching this thing. And then we've got some more questions for you guys. Also, if you have any other questions that you'd like me to ask T-Rex tonight, go ahead and put them in the chat with question in front of it so that I will notice it. Flood the chat with your questions. So this was, in fact, an older news article from 2020. I read it, I say that because subsequently it has gone to an appeals court, but I'm going to read you the article that I was thinking of. So, in Nanaimo, the Hells Angels have won a lengthy criminal case and will have several clubhouses, including one in Nanaimo, returned to them. The Nanaimo Clubhouse on Victoria Road was seized in 2007 after a multi-year investigation into the alleged criminal activities of Hells Angels members in Nanaimo. Several motorcycles were still inside the building when it was closed. Those motorcycles and use of the building will now be returned to the Hells Angels after the Civil Forfeiture Office lost its bid to sell the buildings. Night, Beverly. A long-winded ruling from the BC Supreme Court was released on Thursday and said that the office didn't fully prove its case that the clubhouses were used for criminal activity. So here I'll break in and explain that the government appealed that ruling and they were successful. The clubhouses have now been forfeited. through the Civil Forfeiture Act at the highest level of all appeals in Canada. So this news article, while it says the Supreme Court sided with the Hells Angels, that was the BC Supreme Court. I guess they went higher than that. Anyways, here's the interesting and related part about this article. Evidence submitted showed that the Hells Angels members wouldn't discuss criminal activity at any clubhouse and knew they were under constant surveillance. Signs that were posted around the building stated, "Watch what you say in this clubhouse. The walls have ears." They were hung inside and outside the building, and in place of conversation, sign language was taught and used by members to communicate illicit details. They literally taught all the members sign language so that they could speak in sign language because they knew that it was only audio recording. That is fucking pure dedication. It's absolute dedication, Courtney says in the chat, and it is. So again, we haven't talked about it yet. We are going to have a whole civil forfeiture night where we talk about civil forfeiture. Honestly, we're going to have to have a series because I have a lot to say. But so this judge said they find it reasonable to infer an organization that promotes secrecy in relation to police scrutiny does so to avoid the detection of crime. However, it is not reasonable to infer prevention of crime detection is the only reason for secrecy. Okay? But no direct evidence was submitted tying discussion or initiation of criminal activity to the Nanaimo Clubhouse. Here's where the part that I don't appreciate is. I am all for the government doing their government things, and if they can prove their case in court and collect the evidence legally and follow the rules, then the clubhouse should be gone. But civil forfeiture is basically a step around the judicial system where you don't have to prove a crime was committed. Not only do you not have to prove a crime was committed, I mean, there's so much less levels of scrutiny on it, and it is outside of the criminal system. So, for example, there was a case where this girl met this guy. They barely dated, like a little bit, and he borrowed her truck one time. And turns out he used to sell drugs. Well, they came months later. They broke up. She never participated in any part of that. Months later, they came around and seized her truck under civil asset forfeiture because it was used in the commission of a crime. Now, she wasn't even dating the guy anymore. It wasn't his truck. She didn't give him permission to do it. She wasn't aware of all these things. And yet they were A-okay to forfeit, to seize that item. Again, I've worked for the government agencies, and I understand they have a long arm and a lot of money at their disposal. And that's why it bothers me that they still try and get around that by using civil forfeiture. If we're going to do a very brief overview of, I think the worst place in the world for civil forfeiture would be Ireland. They have some of the absolute strictest source of funds rules in Ireland that you've ever heard of. If you show up at your house with a new car or anything, a scooter for your kids, you got a pool or a trampoline, anything, there's a number that people can call and report this. And then the government is allowed to come and demand to see the source of funds. And I'm not just saying like, oh, I put it on my credit card. They're allowed to then determine where did the money go that you pay your credit card with? How do you get all this money? And you have to be able to prove it legally for any level of purchase. The minimum, I think, is 500 euros or 500 pounds. So that means something as small as, getting a new fence could literally trigger a civil, like an investigation. And in Ireland, what they've done, and kudos to them because it is a smart way of working the government. They have, what they realize is this: we can't get rid of money launderers. We can't. Like, money laundering exists in the world and it will always, but we can make it exceptionally uncomfortable for people that launder money to live here. And that's what they've decided to do, which only pushes that problem elsewhere, right? It doesn't actually protect Ireland from money laundering. It just pushes those people out of um, Ireland in the short term. But what I find interesting about it is they don't just have a civil forfeiture department or a, source of funds department. They have that office, but it's also connected with the tax office. So a guy from the tax office works in that office. A guy from the welfare department works in that office. A guy, like every government agency, they all work together in that office. So there's none of this, oh, well, we can't figure out if they have X, Y, or Z. Oh no, they got a guy who has the fucking computer logins to all, like they have every fucking thing. So they're very connected. And what that means is it's extremely quick, in fact, to determine source of funds if somebody is, misusing government resources, all these different kinds of things. The reason that these laws came into place in Ireland is, in fact, because of a journalist who was investigating a crime syndicate who had been constantly dodging criminal prosecution, but flouting their sort of criminality in a monetary way. And the journalist was doing an article on them, and she was unalived. And within, I think, 6 weeks, the Ireland Parliament had passed this civil forfeiture act and really just clamped down on it. They had a lot of public support at that time because, and it was it's such an interesting way to what to seize on and how to get there, because when it's something like that, of course, yeah, who's going to say no to that? We want to catch, criminals. But when it's your neighbor calling a hotline on you because you got a $500 pool, that, things are a little different, right? The World's End. Yeah, she was shot in Dublin. Yeah. Yeah. And so I actually listened to, I think, 3 or 4 days testimony from agents that worked for that Ireland or Irish agency. I mean, they are literally looked at as a, you know, something to be aspired to in a government sense, the way that they handle those things. Again, they don't stop any crime whatsoever. And it doesn't stop money laundering. It just stops people that are money laundering from living in Ireland because they can't easily spend their money. On the other hand, and what's really interesting is that I was listening to these hearings for my government, British Columbia, and we have some of the absolute lax and we turn a blind eye laws, let's say, to certain things. So you can have numbered businesses here very easily. You don't need to prove ownership of a business. And so there's a lot of, and of course, Canada and BC, those are good business, headquarters, let's say. There comes with that some sort of like a sense of propriety or something like that, because it would be the same with the US, but you guys don't let people own numbered businesses without declaring who the owner is as easily as we do. Like literally you can go online and buy a numbered business in British Columbia and you don't even have to tell them who it is. But they are trying to change that. It is a little bit different. Harmony's here. Harmony, I hope you're doing well. We have been having quite an evening, many different things we've been talking about. T-Rex is on with us. I don't know if he's still on or if we've frozen and lost him completely. But T-Rex, if you're still there, talk to me. You're there. Hi. Uh, I'll say one last thing about money laundering before we move on to a few questions that we have left for you. I've said this before and I'll say it again. People that are criminals follow rules for the most part. So, um, like I suggested, like making a $500 like fee on certain shipping. Like there's a big thing called phantom shipping where basically people do all the paperwork, all of the like everything that you would do if you were shipping a shipload like a shipping container from China to Canada or wherever, but you don't send anything. You just do the paperwork and then the person pretends to receive it, but there's nothing being shipped. But you do all the paperwork perfectly so that you have all the paperwork. And I was like, oh, well, easy. If you just put, a $500 charge and like click this button, that's a great list of people for you to start looking at to see if they're fucking money laundering. Because if you have real businesses with a real accountant or manager or whatever, they're going to be like $500 for what? And then they'll look into it. And when you're money laundering, they'll be like, no, pay that, of course. Like nobody's going to question that. It just immediately to me is like a great way to look at that. And they're like, Paisley, that's not really an appropriate idea. I was like, really? Because it would cost nothing. It would literally cost you almost nothing to add a fucking button to the form that you already have. I was like, who's in charge of the form? They did not like that when I asked that. Yeah. Yeah, very similar to the time they were talking about how if the money had bank straps on it, that was good money, totally good. And I like literally brought up on Amazon at the same time where you can buy those bank straps for like $6. And I was just like, how can you possibly fucking use that as an indicator? Like, but again, these are the people that thought copy and pasting was plagiarism. It is not. Shut up. Oh, that was a nightmare. I literally, that day, I cried. I cried for our government, for our country. I literally cried. I was like, these people are wasting my tax dollars typing this shit out, hunt and peck. At the very least, we could teach them to copy and paste it. God. Oh, I literally made such a giant note about that in that day's like report. I was like, it appears that people from this corporation do not understand that you are allowed to fucking copy and paste. I think first things first, we should look into that. No, Jonathan, here's the problem. These are reports. This is the problem. This is the problem. Yeah, it's plagiarism if you publish it. I'm talking about internal employees who are supposed to take one report and move that report along. And instead of copying and pasting the report, they would type it out because they thought it was plagiarism. It's meant to be the same thing. Oh, that was a really, really, really big problem for me. I was like, no, and actually the biggest problem was they hired all these former police officers to do this job. So I just knew they were sitting there like tip, tap, typing like one letter at a time. Just forward the email, Jonathan. Oh my God, don't even get me started. forwarding a fucking email. Also, I also really hate it, like email fatigue, I call it, at a company or a place where I work, and there's so many emails that you get fatigued by the amount of emails they send. I usually, and again, so this is why I don't keep jobs very much, but I literally I worked for a governmental agency, and I remember the vice president came through for a tour, and I was like, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Come on over. I gotta tell you. I started working here 3 weeks ago. Okay. I had to set up a rule for the emails that y'all are sending. It's stupid. There's 200 emails in there for 3 weeks. Like, you want to help your employees do better? Stop sending them stupid emails. Like, it's so baffling to me. Again, I'm just from a corporate mindset where it's like, I don't want them reading. Anyways, again, the union was mad at me about that one too. Uh, anyways, so T-Rex, we do have another couple questions. How many unread emails do you have in your email address or in your email? Literally tens of thousands? But do you go through and like clear out the unreads? Not looking at them, but just like do that bulk clear? Okay, okay. Um, I know 90% are just spam. I'm just looking at mine right now. You know it's bad when it just says 99 plus, but it means 24,000. Okay, 24,000. Oh, and Jonathan literally just checked 166,857 unread emails. Wow. 36,000. He didn't look at his phone. What are you talking about? That didn't happen. He's driving. Um, there was another question in here from somebody. I think was it Tin Man? Tin Man, did you ask a question that I ignored for T-Rex? I'm scrolling back right now. Oh, also Presto said at the strip club they did that no phones in the office, written notes right in the shredder. I'll tell you can't I'll tell you something about paper trails. In the government, you're subject to freedom of information uh, laws. So that means that you need to oh, thank you, Tim. I'm glad. Uh, what that means is that you have to respond to a Freedom of Information Act request appropriately with everything that falls under the umbrella of the ask. And that's the rules. Those are the rules, you know? Um, they basically teach that to you euphemistically, like not saying, oh, don't write this shit down, but they do mean that, you know? But I remember I had one boss, he was very like sneaky, let's say. And we were doing job interviews or something like that. And I remember his notepad was just covered in post-it notes. And I remember asking him about it later, and he said, well, you know, when you apply for a job with the government, if you don't get that job, you're entitled to ask for all the notes regarding your application process to see what was written about you, what they rated you, all those things. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. But do you know what doesn't fall under Freedom of Information Act? And I was like, what? And he's like, Post-it notes. Those are transitory notes. And I was like, oh. He's like, yeah. So if it's on a Post-it, that doesn't get covered. And I was just like, oh my God. Is everything you write on a fucking Post-it? Courtney's going to bed. Good night, Courtney, my friend. I hope you have a good sleep. We shall. Jonathan needs Post-its. Remember, folks, they're transitory. Yes and no. Here, I'll tell you something. I've both submitted my own personal requests for Freedom of Information Act documents as a citizen, but I've also been on the receiving end as a government employee of those requests. Nobody's really at my level thinking that. You get 20,000 documents sometimes because there's 20,000 documents. Like, I get what you're saying, but you can't give them too much credit, really. You still can't hear T-Rex. You can just hear me talking to T-Rex. Can you hear T-Rex now?
That's hilarious. Let me check.
No, listen, I bet they can now. Yeah, I pressed one button and I fucked it up.
Yeah,
that's okay. I hold a conversation. I can carry the conversation. Okay, T-Rex, go back.
Folks. I mean, I wasn't actually talking.
You're an asshole. You're a fucking asshole.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
That's why we get along.
How many times have I said that to you?
Many. I just love. I saw Lisa say that, but I didn't believe it because I could hear it. I'm so sorry, Lisa. Oh no! Jonathan just said, I agree with Nana and my dad. I'm talking to imaginary people again. Oh my God. I fucked.
Okay, so go back and what?
I don't know. Say what we were talking about 5 minutes ago. I don't remember. Although I do try very hard to sort of reiterate questions that people ask. I find that very frustrating when you watch YouTube channels and people like respond to somebody, but they don't say what they asked.
No, that's
What's that beeping? What's that beeping?
That was the distance. I told you, the truck makes all sorts of beeps and boops. This is saying that I'm a little bit too close for its comfort to the vehicle in front of me.
Okay, we're going to keep...
Still 4 car lanes between. They keep doing that, so I'll get over it so it'll stop.
Mayor, that is so unfair. You know that this is about everybody here. Although everybody's leaving, that's fine. We're going to finish watching a little bit more court before we call it a night. I would like to get a regular case in before we deal with more interpreters, but I'm going to skip over the instructions because I don't want to listen to them again. So, let's start.
Who reads instructions anymore?
Well, I do listen to Judge Dismissal Dan's instructions. I don't know. Maybe I just have a crush on him or something. But... Big D. I love it. He was not on last weekend. I was a little worried. But I can't be too worried or else they'll fucking TPO me. Seriously, I'm like very close to the edge of getting some TPOs against me from judges. I don't like to talk about how much I know.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, F in the chat for TPOs. Let's do an F in the chat for TPOs. Oh, no fucking way. It's Spanish interpreter case. No, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it. I'm sorry. I'm skipping it. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. That's not how I'm gonna end this. We're gonna go to this girl. Fuck that. F in the chat for the Spanish fucking interpreter cases.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
Kristen Brown.
Miss Brown. Okay. And what's your first name?
Kirsten.
Kirsten. Okay. All right, Miss Brown, you have one charge. That is felony terroristic threats. That bond amount is $5,000. That comes with a special condition that while
Okay. I don't know. I'm sure you can't look at this T-Rex because you're driving, but I'll describe her to you. She's diminutive and looks like a little mouse. I don't know what the fuck she did.
That is such a good adjective. Diminutive. Oh my goodness. SAT words.
SAT, I failed high school. And we don't have the SAT. But I read a lot and I know lots of words.
I think it might be the camera angle.
On her?
She is a little on the short side though.
Just even the way she's looking down and she's like terroristic. Oh, I guess that's probably the bad word. I'm like stop myself from saying threat, but really probably the other T word is the problem.
Well, that whole thing is an interesting way that they tend to charge people for making any sort of threat.
Yeah, I would not like somebody to watch some of my lives and then see if I've made any. Ooh.
You are wild, that's for sure.
while out on bond, you are to stay away from the alleged victim, Jillian Stevens, and have no contact with her. You're also not to return to the location at 6435 Cumberland Drive in Rex. It's my understanding you do not live at that address, right?
No, sir. I live in J.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for October the 2nd at 8:30 a.m. Those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chandler, they want to send me to Chandler.
All right. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will put I'll put the order in this morning, appointing someone to represent you on this charge.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Come on, you go right there. He's trying to give you the number, but he could give you the other day a number.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
Good morning, Your Honor. Natalia Grandison.
All right, Ms. Grandison, you have got two charges here. The first charge is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a felony. That bond amount is $25,000. The second charge is terroristic threats. That is also being charged as a felony. That bond is going to be $5,000. So your total bond is $30,000. That comes with a special condition that while out on bond, you are to stay away from and have no contact with the alleged victim, Tamika Wallace. Do you and Miss Wallace live at the same address?
I don't know her, but we stay in the same neighborhood, I guess.
You live in the same neighborhood?
Argument at the gate, now I'm here.
Okay.
Argument at the
So
gate.
it's like a large apartment complex?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, you have to stay away from her, okay? And have no contact with her. And I've scheduled the preliminary hearing. That's going to be October the 2nd at 8:30 a.m. Those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
Hold on. Are you being serious, Presto? She did a 5-hour drive for this situation? That's crazy. Oh, that is crazy. Clayco, have you ever been to Clayton County, T-Rex? There's a good question. In Georgia.
I'm not sure.
It's contiguous to Fulton County, where Atlanta is. Contiguous meaning they touch.
So probably then, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of like
County-
sticks into Fulton County in a weird triangle way.
Counties aren't really that big of a deal necessarily when you're traveling.
Well, I'll tell you something, sir. It's a big deal which county you get arrested in between Fulton
That's true.
and Clayton County. Have you been to Forest Park?
I don't know.
Presto, we need more details. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Give me just a moment here.
Is that like near Atlanta? I haven't.
Okay, I understand that you
The
are
only place
not
I know that I've been to in
currently
Georgia
working. Do you
are
have any
Atlanta
other
and
sort of
Savannah.
income?
Those are like the two biggest cities.
He's
Audio's
the
not picking you
trucking
up.
hub.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I just have
Oh. Okay. All right. So I'm going to find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put the order in this morning appointing somebody to represent you on these charges. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Here we go. Okay, what do we think she's in for, guys? What do you think? What's she in here for? We've had 2 terroristic threats. Are we going to go for a triple? A turkey of terroristic threats, if you will?
Go for the hat trick.
Hat trick. Better fucking term. I don't know why I said turkey as if I know how to bowl. I only have wee bowling skills! Shit! I just spilled my pop on my phone. It's gonna be...
You're gonna have to get another phone. Come on.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
Good morning. It's Marisha Johnson.
All right, Miss Johnson, you have one charge. That's criminal trespass. That bond amount is $1,500. That comes with a special condition that while out on bond, you have to stay away from the alleged victim, Alicia Williams. Do you and Alicia, and I understand that's your mother, is that correct?
Yes, that is.
Do you and your mother live at the same residence?
We do.
Okay, so you'll have to stay away from the residence, and that's 2808 Creekwood Road. So you'll have to stay away from there since she is there. What I will put into your bond order here is that within the first 10 days of your release from jail, you can schedule an appointment with the sheriff's office, and they'll give you a date and a time where you would be allowed to go to the property to retrieve what personal items you need while this bond condition is in place, okay, without violating the bond. But you'll have to schedule that within your first 10 days of release. All right. Would you like me to schedule the preliminary hearing for October the 3rd, or do you want to waive that hearing?
Yes, just schedule.
Schedule? All right. So we'll put you on the calendar for October the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. Those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And would you like to apply for a public defender to represent you?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Okay, so I understand you are currently working. What kind of work do you do?
I'm working at a warehouse.
Warehouse? Are you paid weekly?
I just started, yes.
How much
Monday.
after taxes do you take home each week?
I'm not sure yet. I just started.
All right. How much were they supposed to be paying you per hour?
16.
16? So that'd be 5. And you have one child, is that right?
Yes, I do.
How old's your child?
He's 3 years old.
All right, I'm going to find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Judge does the math, and he's like, I find that's fucked up that you have a child, get paid $16 an hour. he's like not able to do the pleb math.
And I will put the order in this morning appointing someone to represent you on this charge.
He is
All
a
right, thank you,
lawyer,
ma'am.
after all.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
Oh, her name's got to be Crystal. No offense to any crystals. This one's a crystal
Spelled
with
with
a
a
K.
C or a K?
Oh, it's a fucking K. You know it's a K. It might even be, if you were getting crazy, we got an I and a Y. No A. No A. Okay?
My cousin's
Oh,
name.
and an H. There's an H.
My cousin, she goes by Sammy.
Uh-huh.
She spells it Samyi.
Oh, contrarian, hey? That reminds me of the story, that story I've told before of the girl who worked at the car dealership with me when she first started. She introduced herself to me and she said, "My name is Tamara." And I was like, "Oh, that's a lovely name. How do you spell it?" And then she spells it like Tamara. And I'm like, "Tamara or Tamara?" And she's like, "It's Tamada, like with a D." And I was like, "Oh, your parents convinced you your whole life to tell people that? Are you shitting me right now? If it was meant to be a D, put a fucking D in it. You don't get to just do
That's
that."
what she said.
Hey, oh, that is what she said. Also, does everybody have a cousin named Sammy?
Probably.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
KC!
Okay, give me just a moment. All right, Miss Romero, you have got 3 charges here. The first charge is a felony. That is a violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That bond amounts $3,500. Second charge is use or possession of a drug-related object. That bond is $500. The fourth charge is a bicycle equipment charge. That bond's $100. So we're gonna, if we add those 3 up, that comes.
What? Bicycle equipment charge? Is that either she wasn't wearing a helmet or her bike wasn't good enough? I'm really perplexed. Like, what?
I really wish you could experience like how I have to do this. Like, I have the video playing so I can hear the court, but then you're talking, so like I hear you talk, and then 30 seconds later I hear you talk again. It's
That's probably for the best, T-Rex. We need to get it through to you. Also, people in the chat are saying no light on the bike.
Yeah, you have to have the stupid flashing light on the back of the bike.
Okay. Again, if somebody's biking around with their drug paraphernalia, I'm of the opinion you should leave them alone.
I mean, yeah,
it's just common sense and fucking like good manners. You just leave the bitch alone. She's on a bike. She ain't gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah, she's just minding her own business. Out for a
comes to a total of $4,100.
Like, do you think she set out that day thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get a $4,100 bond"? Okay, we've seen people in here for DUI get less bond. I'm not kidding. I've seen people in this court, Clayton County, get DUI charges and get bonds for less than that. Again, I get it. You got a whole system penalizing and, persecuting drug users. And you could be making so much more money if you just started selling the drugs as the government. It's like people telling you every fucking day. They're like, "We want the drugs. We want the drugs. We're willing to get arrested for it." And the government's just like, "I don't know how to fix this problem. Oh, whatever will we do? Oh, I don't know. Sell the drugs and make them expensive and then take all that profit from the people that want to do coke on the weekends and throw it at the drug addicts."
Well, and not only that too, but it would also help with a lot of the dirty drug problem, having it
Well,
regulated would
it would eliminate the dirty drug problem. Take it away. Listen, criminals are smart. Okay, they'll find a new business. If the government starts selling grass, they don't sell grass no more. The government starts selling ass, they won't sell ass. The government starts selling drugs, they're not going to sell the drugs. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
to me, it's hilarious.
I mean, it's provable, right? The Mexican cartels, when a lot of the states have legalized marijuana, they started switching over to selling avocados, and that's a true fact. You can look that up.
Sure. And, and there's the reality of that situation, right? Like, oh, the goods that we're telling the government to sell are highly taxable goods.
Oh,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like, you can put fucking taxes up the yin yang on these. And people that are recreational users that want to have access to a safe, fun weekend, they're going to pay it. Okay? And again, we've already talked about my modern madam's brothel idea that would change the world. Anyways, let's keep going. We'll see what she says. I mean, she does have a little bit of a no teeth methany look going on, and I'm gonna say that. Like, don't do meth, kids. Don't do meth.
Yeah, that's not
Okay?
a good one.
Don't do meth.
That's not a fun one.
It just fucks you up for a
Well, no.
long time. You can't bounce back from meth. It's just not a
Well,
bounce
come on,
backable
we can-
drug. You can bounce back from almost any drug, but not meth. Yeah, Mayor, a little bit like they've had in Nevada, but I have a specific program for my brothel where we gonna find the real dirty sluts. But also, we're gonna help all these other women that need help. It's gonna be like a philanthropic thing. Don't worry. I'll let you know all about it.
Such good
That's how you
use
pay
of adjectives tonight.
I'm sorry. So the total comes to $4,100 this morning.
How much
Um,
is that after- I'm sorry.
Oh, so okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for October the 2nd at 8:30 a.m. and those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one.
Also, I'm looking at a piece of paper in this house where I have written out an idea. I'm gonna go grab it in a minute and we'll read it.
And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. Did you fill out an application this morning?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Give me just a moment.
She was one that we couldn't find. So we just have the form right here. So we haven't had a chance yet to fax it over to you.
Okay. So Ms. Romero, are you
Like, did they just say fax? As in, they're gonna fax something?
Yeah, because they couldn't find the application she filled out.
Like, this is really concerning, right? Because they're already connected virtually and could give him the form right now via Zoom.
Listen, weren't we just talking about how the government isn't good at
Yes,
stuff?
and this is why they didn't like me when I was writing reports for them. Because I would point that out and they'd be like, it's like when I found out, when I started working for one of the transit companies, and people were coming to me in my office asking me to PDF things for them. I was like, sure, but can I ask why? Like, why do I need to PDF something for you? And like, it was constant. Like, people would come to me and be like, hey, can you PDF this and put it in a file folder for me on the drive? And I was like, again, yes, but why can't you do that? Turns out they wouldn't fucking give everybody the PDF program. They gave it to like 3 people. Okay. Do you know how much money people spent walking to my office asking me to PDF stuff, standing there while it pays for itself immediately. I remember being like, there's free PDF makers on the internet. Why? I'm now very perplexed. Like, and that's another reason I get in trouble, is because if I wasn't able to PDF for some reason, I would not go ask somebody else to do it. I would find a workaround, and they'd be like, you violated government rules by putting it on the internet. Also, Vicky, yes, I did see I am over 300 subs. T-Rex, your video ended. Start another one. And thank you all for being part of that journey. I am so thankful and proud of that. Seriously, very thankful for all of you. Let's continue here. We don't why I don't know why, but tonight has become a lot of why I don't have jobs. And it's because I'm just too good, I think.
Employed anywhere?
Um,
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
KCC Romero.
Romero. Okay, give me just a moment.
Thank you, Denali.
All right, Miss Romero, you have got 3 charges here. The first charge is a felony. That is a violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That bond amounts to $3,500. Second charge is use or possession of a drug-related object. That bond is $500. The fourth charge is a bicycle equipment charge. That bond's $100. So we're gonna, if we add those 3 up, that comes to a total of $4,100.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. The computer froze.
I'm sorry. So the total comes to $4,100 this morning.
How much after? I'm sorry.
Oh, so okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for October the 2nd at 8:30 a.m. and those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. Did you fill out an application this morning?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna need to fax it. Also, what did Mikey win? I forgot. Did
give
we
me
decide
just
on a
a
prize for
moment.
him?
She was one that we couldn't find. So we just have the form right here. So we haven't had a chance yet to fax it over to you.
Okay. So Miss Romero, are you currently employed anywhere?
No, sir. I'm stay at home.
Okay. And do you have any other type of income?
No.
Okay. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you on this charge. And I'll take care of the form. They'll send that over to me in just a little bit, and I'll take care of that. So, okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Ask you one question.
Yes, ma'am.
How could I for the OR bond?
That's something this is a felony charge. That's something that I look at initially. I based on
I've never been in trouble. I've never been in trouble.
Yes, ma'am. I do not find you qualify for an OR bond this morning. Okay. So it's going to be $4,100.
How much is it after?
You'll have to talk to a bonding company because their fees and percentages are different with different companies. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Next. Who's next? Okay, got it.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me? All right, Ms. Smith, you have got 2 charges. The first charge is criminal trespass. That bond amounts $1,500. The second charge is providing a false name, address, or date of birth to law enforcement. That bond is also $1,500. So when we add those 2 together, the total comes to $3,000. That comes with a special condition that while out on bond, you are not to return to the location at 2703 Holly Berry Drive in Ellenwood. These are both misdemeanors. Do you want me to schedule your preliminary hearing for October the 3rd, or do you want to waive that hearing? Schedule. All right. So October the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. will be the preliminary hearing. Those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
No.
You plan on hiring your own attorney?
Yes.
Okay.
You sure about
All
that?
right. I'll indicate that here. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Next.
Keep knocking on my window.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you
Whoa.
state your name for me?
About no.
All right, Miss Wada, you have one charge. That's criminal trespass. That bond.
Okay, we have a few things to talk about here. We're gonna go back. We gotta look at this hair. What the fuck is the jail guard yelling about? What the fuck don't you understand about no? Is that what he just said? Let's listen carefully. And seriously, this hair is...
It's certainly there.
Keep knocking on my window.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
About no.
All right, Miss Wada, you have one charge. That's criminal trespass. That bond amount's $1,500. That comes with a special condition that while out on bond, you're not to return to this location at 330 Forest Parkway in Forest Park. This is a misdemeanor. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the preliminary hearing? I'm sorry?
I'd like to waive that.
Waive. Okay. I'll indicate here that you're waiving the preliminary hearing, and the deputies there will have a waiver form for you to sign this morning, and then they'll send that over to me to sign.
The guard said, "Stop knocking on my window." What the fuck don't you understand about no? I believe, Mayor. Also, they've got these guys pressed up against the back wall getting I don't know, not violated. Handcuffed, I guess. Shackled, I guess it's called. Wow. Also, did we not just talk about Forest Park? With Presto? We did. And now this lady's gotten in trouble in Forest Park? Jesus Christ.
And would you like to apply for a public defender to represent you?
No, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own attorney?
No, sir.
You plan on representing your...
We got a soft city.
yourself?
I plan on pleading guilty.
All right, but would you like an attorney to represent you to see if they can help you any or give you some advice?
No, sir.
All right. Well, I'll just indicate here that you are going to represent yourself.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
I
ma'am.
love Soft Civ so much.
Hey, I'm gonna bring up
Soft City-its.
You know, the gold
I thought it was a guy,
an
too.
Admiral Corps.
I've told you the worst and most dumb Sov City-its there are the Canadian Sov City-its that cite U.S. law. An idiot.
Yeah.
So dumb. You're so stupid, you idiots. You don't have any of those rights.
I'm just traveling.
Yeah, well, travel your ass down to the States, you little bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. Sometimes I swear to God, I'm like, oh, wow. And it really spiked during COVID. People, especially like grocery. Here's the thing. The police here don't put up with that shit. They're like, no. I'm sorry. I don't think you know where you are.
They don't really put up with it here in the States either. They're just like, all right, you're.
Hey,
Okay.
we've talked about it before. There is a case that I've read about before where a guy got a 1.5 years in jail for his antics in court, which is what we see oftentimes with Sov City-its, where judges sort of deal with them. Well, here, the dude got a 1.5 years in jail for bogging down the system with his antics. So,
So like
yeah.
like a contempt charge, basically.
Yeah. I'll find the article. We'll read it in a minute. Come on, talk, Judd.
Come on, Big D. Tell us.
This is not Big D. Don't fucking mix that up. This is JP, John Parker.
Good morning,
Good morning, ma'am. Can you state your name for me?
Audrey Jane Morgan.
All right, Miss Morgan, you have 3 charges. The first charge is a felony. That's battery. That bond amount is going to be $4,000. The second charge is a misdemeanor. That's simple assault. That bond amount is $2,500. The third charge is a misdemeanor obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That bond amount is $2,000. When we add those 3 bonds up, your total this morning is $8,500. Your preliminary hearing is going to be scheduled for October the 2nd at 8:30 a.m. And those hearings are held over the computer, just like this one. And do you want to apply for a public defender to represent you?
May I ask questions first?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What are these charges?
Charges simple assault, obstructing an officer, and battery.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like a public defender to represent you? You would like a public defender?
Yes.
You would? Okay. All right. Do you have any sort of income? So I didn't hear an answer. Do you have any sort of income?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to appoint somebody to represent you for these charges. Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I would almost call that a 333. She doesn't understand. Hold on. We're gonna swap over. I think that's enough court for tonight. We've had a lot of fun with court. We're coming up on 3 hours. We're not going anywhere yet. Don't worry. I have a few little tidbits that I want to share with you and T-Rex. As a reminder, I bet if you're here still, you've been here the whole time, my friends. So I barely need to remind you, but if you haven't yet subbed to T-Rex, his link is posted and pinned in the chat. I appreciate it so much. So we were just talking about the contempt charge, right, T-Rex?
Yes, we were.
We were. So I'm going to read this article. I believe I've read this before. I'm going to write it down right now. Watch me write. I'm writing it down, to find the full case. Not you, I'm talking to the chat. I need to find, okay, David Patterson. I'm going to find the full case and we'll read the entire thing because I'm sure this is just a summary of it. But, give me 1 second. So, first of all, Jonathan, what's hundreds? Who's getting 100? I'm glad about it. Oh, Mayor, I don't know. I missed something. Unless you're just being, oh, 300. Yeah. Oh, 300. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking idiot. Yeah, 3 100s. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Aw, you guys are great. I appreciate each and every one of you. Actually, hold on. Watch T-Rex. T-Rex, can you tell us what you had for dinner today while I quickly grab this article? It's going to take me a minute. Your full screen, your video is, but I'm going to throw the mic over to you. Can you tell us what you had for dinner today?
Well, I did not eat dinner yet. I have been driving all day.
That's a horrible fail. Horrible fail answer.
I'm sorry, but like the time that I would usually eat dinner, my 30-minute break, I would spend that getting set up for the stream, which is fine. I usually only eat
Oh,
anyway, and I did have breakfast this morning, which was sausage, biscuits, and gravy, and 2 over easy eggs, and then like I scrambled it all together, and it was friggin' delicious. I
hold
really
on. Did you
liked it.
scramble them initially? Like when the eggs arrived, you scrambled them into it? Like as in that was your first move when your plate came? Or did you take a singular bite of something?
No, yeah, the first like it was served on top, so like the biscuits and gravy, and then the 2 eggs on top. And I like chopped it up with my fork and like mixed it all together, and then ate it like that.
My question still stands. When you chopped it up with your fork and mixed it all up, had you taken a bite yet?
Oh no, absolutely not. Nope.
Okay,
It's my
that's weird.
go-to move. I like mixing them together.
Totally from the start. You don't want a single bite of anything without the taste of everything else on it?
No, because I know what it's gonna taste like already.
I'm not against it. I'm just asking you. It's a type of person that you are, that you do that.
Yeah. I don't mind when my food touches each other. Some people are like that, but you know,
Some people are like that with people. They don't like when anybody touches
those people. I'm not gonna finish that statement because it would be really mean, so I'm gonna stop myself.
them. Oh, we're allowed to be mean here. Plus, there's only 12 people watching.
Nah, I don't feel like it today. Um, but when I do get stopped, I have frozen pizzas that I'm gonna air fry. So I'm looking forward to
Please
that.
don't ever microwave a pizza again.
You know what? They
Please.
come with these little crisper plates now that actually, even in the microwave, they come out crispy. They work pretty well.
I'm not going to believe you and I'm not going to try it.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't disagree with you on that. But sometimes you have 30 minutes to eat something, and 15 of those 30 minutes has to be spent filling the truck up with fuel. So,
Well, again, that sounds to me like a labor law violation because if something that you have to do for your job occurs on your lunch break, that's not your lunch break. You should be paid for that and you're fucking working.
I don't get paid. I get paid per mile, not per time. That's the
Well,
contract I
your
signed.
company's
And,
breaking into the stream and shutting you up.
well, I mean,
They can
like
hear you.
most
You know they
times,
can hear you in that truck. If they have everything else going on, they can hear you.
No, they can't. But, like with most things, you can sign away almost any right in a contract.
Oh, I've done it. Done it many times. I'm a horrible negotiator for myself. I negotiate great for other people, but for myself, for some reason, bad. That's why I need a manager to negotiate for me. But that manager can't take advantage of me because I won't negotiate well. Like, you know what I mean? It's just this damn spiral.
Turtles all the way down.
Rotten Turtles is a perfume I really want. I think have you heard, did I tell you about the Rotten Turtle perfume?
No, you didn't.
So one of my favorite YouTube channels, it's called Brain Blaze now, but it used to be called Business Blaze. The host of that channel made a joke one time that something about like people would buy perfume even if I called it Rotten Turtle perfume or something like that. And then somebody contacted him and was like, I'm a perfume person and I would like to make this perfume with you. And he's a smart, well organized man. And so he has an absolute merch line now that sells Rotten Turtle perfume. And I fucking want it so bad. I'm pulling up the website right now. I'm gonna show it to us. Again, this guy has probably like 20 over 1 million subscriber YouTube channels, 20 separate ones. Okay. And I've been watching him for years and he's super, super smart. He's actually the first one I ever heard. He doesn't call him YouTube Daddy, he calls him Google Daddy. And that's where I got that from, we'll say. Hold on. So, okay, hold on. I pulled it up.
I'm here all night.
I know you are, captive audience.
Shashina, she's holding me captive again.
Oh my god. So it says, first of all, spend $74.95 to receive free domestic shipping. Okay. First of all, isn't it cheap to ship in the United States? It seems crazy.
How quickly you want it.
So they have this picture of this turtle, and they said nobody would buy a perfume called Rotting Turtle. They were wrong. And they have a blood orange one too. So let's see the story. We put down as a story. Like, there's no shade being thrown here. I absolutely respect this guy and his hustle. All of it. Every bit.
I don't think it was.
If Simon Whistler is listening somehow, never gonna happen. Let's have dinner. Okay, so it says, much like you'd never be able to sell a perfume called Rotting Turtle, ... Those were the words written in a script. Oh, that's right. So he hires writers to write his scripts for his YouTube shows, and then he reads them. And oftentimes it's like the first time he's read it because he's sort of like me. So he gets surprised. Oh, that's what I should do. Well, some of you guys write scripts for me to read, and I will read them first time on camera.
You know, if you ask me something like that, I'm just gonna write something terrible. It'll be hilarious.
I don't care. Do it. I want it. Anyways, it says, these were the words written in a script in 2021 on the Business Blaze, now Brain Blaze. That's a typo on this website. I am going to screenshot this, and then I'm going to email him this, and that's my in. I'm doing this live because if I don't do it now, I won't remember to do it. Seriously? Watch, hold on. Oh, no, not that one.
There's only a finite amount of things that I can remember for you.
You don't need to remember this for me. I'm doing it live. I want to talk to this guy.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
When I find, hold on. I'm just literally screenshotting this. I should have got the fucking address in, but I didn't. Why is it not working very well? Oh, God. Okay. There we go. Now that it's been screenshotted, I'll remember to do it. So, now Brain Blaze, YouTube channel from Simon Whistler. Seeing that as a challenge, Simon reached out. Oh, he's reached out. I thought it was the other way around. To Will Claren, who he was already doing his range of beard oils with. Oh, that's what it was. He reached out first about the beard oils and asked if Will had any experience with perfumes. He did, but he could only make them smell amazing. And that's how the first fragrance, Rotting Turtle, was born and how it came to smell amazing. First of all, fucking really great marketing words. Okay. Hi, Crystal. Then came more absurdly named scents, and suddenly a joke had become a range of perfumes, including other names like Rotten Badger and Corpse Flower. Please enjoy our novelty named but super smelling scents, because apparently you can sell a perfume called Rotting Turtle. Stay legendary. Like, that's epic to me. And people are paying $75. And I want to be able to pay $75 for this perfume. That's what I want. You know? It's on my list. Anyways, so as usual, I love you hear that in my voice? I thought I was going to a different screen there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know exactly who Simon is. He has like 20 different channels that he runs.
I just said that. He has 20 different channels.
Wow.
And I stand Simon Whistler. Hold on. Why did we go away? We went away. Here's what I'll do. I will make yours the big one, me the small one. Give me a second. I'm just not that fast with these things. It's hard to do this live. Do people know that? It's hard to do this live.
Listen. So the thing is that the people are here to see you and not me. So I vote you.
No, I don't think that's true. We can do a 1 or a 2. Who should go live? Who should go in the big screen? 1 for T-Rex and 2 for me. Ugh, you know how to make me happy, T-Rex. Get people to tell me I should be in the screen. You know what they're gonna say. Oh, they're all saying you!
Oh, God,
that's because they're good people. They're good people. They're better than us, T-Rex. Oh, hold on. I'm adding this shit together and I'm trying to do things at the same time. Look at them all. They're all such good people. I love them. This is why. They're better than me. They are better than I am. Oh my God, fucking Control Z. Does it get you guys going when I say Z?
Yeah.
Does it?
We're gonna have to have a talk about that one day.
There's no talk to be had, my dude. There's no talk to be had. It's never gonna change. In fact,
is it zebra or zebra?
Depends. Depends on how pissed off I want to make you. Crystal says we have to be nice to the guests. She's right. And everybody that comes on Fridays does get treated well. My people, you guys are beyond impeccably kind to people we have on this show. And I'll tell you why. Like, Iowa golfer Iowa Critter Cam, who I'm hoping to have on not next week, but the week after. Sashina and T-Rex all have channels, all that I want to see grow. And again, like, these are just... my channel is probably so crazy ADHD, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm like, I don't care to be for the masses. That's really not who I'm aiming at. I'm aiming at like the 12 people that are here right now.
Did you see what Lisa just said in the chat?
What? Lisa, because we're all high. Lisa, damn it. You know it's true. Shh. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm trying to learn how to do this and I can't do it at the same time, but I'm trying.
All right, chat, just you and me. We're going to have a talk. KCC needs to focus.
Focus.
Look, I understand that y'all trying to be nice, but like we all know that KCC is much more pleasant to look at than the stupid driving stream. Come on now.
Control Z. Ayo, I got it.
Ayo.
Did I lock it? Like, what the fuck? You guys, I could practice more, but I don't.
You need to appreciate KCC.
Oh, they do. I got over 300 subs.
That's true.
They are very appreciative, fam, damily. You know that. I would like to ask you one question, T-Rex. While we were in Houston, how thankful was I for my... I bet I gushed about my subscribers. I hope I did, because I meant to, and I do usually.
You're gonna have to
restate the question? Did you say I have to
thankful you are? Yeah.
When I was in Houston, around other YouTubers who have much bigger channels than me, I appreciate the subscribers. It's important to me. I mention that a lot. I talk about it all the time. My subscribers are cooler than I am. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know, T-Rex. I don't know how to explain it. What I mean to say is, like, and I'm not trying to diss anybody here at all, but there are some people that live stream and, like, don't interact with their chat. But they're live.
That's true.
And I'm like, are they reading that? or like it's a little perplexing. Anyways. Okay. So we
I do
have
have to say though, at a certain point, the chat moves so fast that it's actually difficult to keep up with.
not for me because I'm superhuman. No, but seriously, I've had big chats before going on. First of all, I have a huge screen that I watch this on, and most of it is taken up by the chat. That's what I look at all the time. Generally, if I'm smart, you see where I'm looking right now when I'm looking into the camera. If I'm
For
on
legal
it,
purposes, I have
no, legally, I'm not talking to you legally. But for legal purposes, you're not even here, dude. But what I mean is, like, if I'm smart and well set up, the camera that I look into, I put right in front of where the chat is, so that I'm just like looking into the chat all the time, but it's also looking into the camera. Okay, here's what I'm going to read. This is going to end us off for the evening. It's been lovely. I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, you disappeared, T-Rex. Did you do that on purpose so that I would have to go big? God damn it. Why you gotta do that? Anyways, where is he? I don't hear him anymore either. I can hear you guys and I can't hear him anymore. So I'm assuming that he's dropped off somehow. And this I wanted to read for him because I think he'll find it funny. Yeah, he's dropped off. Okay, let's take a 2-second breather and let him come back. And Melanie, what song are you talking about? Bye, Melanie, if you're leaving. Love you. Oh, damn. This is, oh my God, it's 3.14. That was 3:14 that we live. Like, um, give me 1 second. I'm gonna use this pause screen. T-Rex is back. Back again. T-Rex is back. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back, but not playing? It's T-Rex. God damn, why can't I hear you, T-Rex? Okay, well, I'm still gonna pause it while I figure it out. I gotta go potty too. That's the honest God truth, y'all. And then I'll be right back. I know he's frozen. I'm not. Mayor. That reminds me, did you know you can Boolean search your porn if you want? Why? That just got big all of a sudden. Weird. Weird, 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 weird. I can't do it. Where's the collapsing? Right click. T-Rex show on stream. There you are. Now you're here. Now we hear
Hello?
you.
Can you hear
There
me?
you are. Yeah, we can hear
Woo!
you.
Yay!
He's back, friends. We're back on it. Here we go.
And
Um,
that's actually live, so.
Now we're live again. Great. Okay. So I'm gonna read as our ending, our good night story, this article about I can't remember what it was about. Oh, the contempt, the subset contempt. So bear with me as I read it. I'm gonna pop that off. I can't. You can totally Boolean search your porn, though. Did you know that? Mayor, you can Boolean search your porn. Boolean searching is when you use the positive or negative signs to add or subtract keywords from your searches. So for example, if you don't like a certain genre or style, you can change it versus, or like remove it from your search results. Your camera's small now, so I'm gonna move it over to the side. And I will go big, as that's what she said. Okay, so, like I said, thank you for being here, T-Rex. I appreciate it, and I'm thankful that you reminded me of this. I've written it down because I'm gonna get the full case, and we'll read the full case. But here is a news article about this case. It's come from Vancouver, and it says, the provincial court... Oh, wait, let's do a vote. 1, if I should do this in my, like, newscaster voice, or 2, if I should just do it in my regular voice. In the chat,
3.
1, or what's 3?
ASMR voice.
Oh, my, like, whispery, quiet voice? Okay. So 1 for newscaster lady voice, 2 for regular voice, or 3 for ASMR voice. Lisa's like, number 1. She wants my news lady voice. RLS says, just stick with the regular. Why you gotta be so crazy? And then Mayor says the same thing.
I vote for number 1. I vote number 1.
You suggested number 3, but you vote number 1?
Yeah, I don't need to fall asleep while I'm driving.
Absolutely not. Mayor, that's fair enough. Okay. I'll just do it in my regular voice. I get a little newscastery when I'm reading, so I'm just going to preemptively apologize for all of you 2 people. But I'll try my best to just be regular. Okay?
That's right, Bob and Barb.
Vancouver. A provincial court judge in Prince Rupert, British Columbia, has sentenced a 46-year-old man to a year in jail, so I was wrong before, it's a year, for contempt of court, ruling that he tried to circumvent the justice system with pseudo-legal and stupid arguments. Judge David Patterson sentenced Cameron Hardy, in part, to deter others from subjecting the court to the theory known as organized pseudo-legal commercial arguments. Patterson's rulings detailed how Hardy, who was facing a charge of resisting or obstructing a peace officer in 2021, considers himself a free man, meaning he won't accept that courts have jurisdiction over him and falsely believes Canadian law doesn't apply to him. The courts of British Columbia are legitimate or they are not. There is no middle ground. There are no shades of gray, Patterson's ruling says. Unfortunately for Hardy, the courts in British Columbia, including the Provincial Court of British Columbia, are legitimate. Ottawa-based lawyer Richard Warman said that he was both surprised and reassured by the ruling because courts in the past have been reluctant to treat such conduct as a full frontal attack on the judicial system that it really is. Warman, who's a human rights lawyer and who has written about pseudo-law in Canadian courts, said the judge gave Hardy every opportunity to be respectful, but he stubbornly refused. and in more than a dozen court appearances over a 2-year period. Cases involving those pseudo-law arguments have usually seen defendants punished monetarily, but Warman said that this ruling showed enough is enough with the 1-year jail sentence. Patterson's decision is definitely groundbreaking, Warman said. I think it is a real wake-up call to all those who are involved in the organized pseudo-legal commercial argument movement. Hardy, who represented himself in court, the soft idiot that he is, Hardy, who represented himself in court, was charged with contempt in the face of the court, or in the States they would call that direct contempt, for refusing to recognize the court's legitimacy or to follow the court's orders and take part in the trial process. In his reasons for sentence on the contempt charge, Patterson found Hardy displayed flagrant disregard for the court's directions and orders. Patterson ruled that Hardy's legal arguments could be harmful to the justice system by turning routine matters into time-consuming exercises, and his arguments were not merely legally false, but often just plain stupid. Hardy's defense was vexatious and frivolous. He had no hope of success, thus, logically, his only purpose was to frustrate the court and waste government resources. Patterson ruled that Hardy intended to harm or deceive the court with nonsensical legal theory, and it seems that phraseology such as post-truth and fake news has become increasingly prevalent in public discourse. Patterson's ruling says, as a court system, we need to recognize how the growing abundance of misinformation influences people in the political, technological, and societal context, including the courtroom. The ruling details how Hardy was first arrested in Prince Rupert in May of 2021 and charged with 1 count of resisting or willfully obstructing peace officers in the execution of their duty. Days after his arrest, Hardy was released from custody under the condition that he wasn't allowed within 10 meters. 10 meters is like 30 feet of a Prince Rupert liquor store. In later virtual court appearances, Hardy repeatedly challenged the court's jurisdiction over him, saying he was not a person. I am a man commonly called Cameron Hardy. See? He's using the same script. His first trial date was set for September 3rd, 2021, but he wasn't allowed in the courthouse because he refused to wear a mask. At the time, the judge asked him over the phone if he had a letter from a doctor confirming he was unable to wear a mask for the short walk between the courthouse and the courthouse entrance and the courtroom where the trial was scheduled, and he didn't need to wear a mask. At the time, the judge asked him he said, I don't need another man or woman's permission to breathe. Hardy replied, I've been breathing my entire life on my own. Okay, dumbass. The court eventually issued a warrant for his arrest for not appearing in court on the set trial date. Patterson's reasons for Hardy's sentence lays out a timeline for several court dates derailed by his pseudo-legal arguments. Patterson made a ruling disallowing Hardy to file documents or make any pseudo-legal arguments at trial, telling them that they wasted the court's time and taxpayers' money and had no chance of succeeding. My ruling made no difference to Hardy, Patterson's ruling said. He seemed more interested in doing what he could to stop the trial from proceeding and putting on a show for his numerous acquaintances, the judge says. The judge says he didn't order a psychiatric assessment because he found Hardy to be intelligent but an anti-government ideologist. This report was first published April 21st, 2023. Anyways, what do you think of that? So he got sentenced to a year in jail.
I find that absolutely hilarious.
Me too. I love it.
I always like the script. They're like, that's my government name.
I know. And it's funny because, there's another use of the term government name. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
You don't? You can't guess? Does anybody in the chat have a guess as to where you might also hear the term government name thrown about, but they aren't subsidiaries?
Oh, okay, no.
Tell me.
Gang activity, right? It's like,
no!
Government name.
No,
well, they do
dumbass.
say that. No, they
Who
do
says
say
that
though, right?
No.
When, gang members, when they're talking to each other, they go by their quote-unquote hood name, because they don't want their government name out there because then you can more easily snitch on them.
No, I don't accept that.
It's true.
No, none of you are right yet. I'm talking about drag queens.
That's fair.
Drag queens. I watched this short on YouTube recently where this guy had a short where he went up to all these drag queens when they were all like glammed up and ready to go, calling them by their government names. My fucking God, you have never seen some of that side eye in your goddamn life. Walk up to this beautiful woman who's dressed to the nut, like, you know what I mean? Like, and be like, hi, Justin. And she's just like,
Oof.
who you calling Justin? But anyways, and no offense meant, like, I literally watched that today and I remember laughing. Because again, like, I appreciate when people want to be called what they want to be called. If you want it and you own it, get it, baby. That's fine. But the problem here is that there's no win at the end. None of the Sov Sits win in the end, ever. And
Ever.
now, what is beautiful in Canada is that not only don't they win, but they lose. So when you have an idiot that might start talking, like, I don't know where maybe in Houston, somewhere else, I don't know where I would encounter somebody like this. But if somebody in person started speaking to me about this, I literally would be pulling up this case. Just being like, yeah, motherfucker, go to jail for a year. Enjoy. And funny enough, I actually think that is a good use of court resources. I'm not about jailing people unnecessarily, but I truly believe, like, drug addicts are not stealing things because they are deep down thieves at heart. Okay? That's not what's happening in the most petty crime cases that we see get so dealt with so harshly. For example, the woman on the bike, okay? Her $4,100 bond for probably having a meth pipe, a tiny bit of meth, and a bike with no light. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's different in Canada. We don't hold people in jail for those types of things, but we also don't often jail people for contempt charges like that. And so, again, that's another, everybody has their own opinion of what the legal system should be used for, utilized as, you know, there's many things. Before I forget, no, you say what you're going to say, I'm going to write it down.
That's the age-old debate between is the prison system for punishment or rehabilitation.
Punitive or rehabilitative, exactly. Shit. What did we just... Oh, we talked about the contempt charge. Oh, so that reminds me of the other case that I talked about. And this case, I actually don't want to focus on in a huge way, even though I actually want to. In like a personal way, it really interests me and makes me like angry, and I want to do a big thing on it. But I'll do a synopsis. Basically, there's a man who went through a very nasty divorce with his wife and then put up a revenge website against her that is still up to this day. He continues to defy court orders to take it down and is serving time in jail rather than take the website down. I don't like to focus on the case because I don't want to give him extra exposure. Weird enough as it sounds, like I hate the tactic.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Like, for him, we should make jail a little less comfy, I think. You know?
Yeah, no bad.
In my mind, I think we could do some punitive punishing in this case. This is where punitive punishment comes right in. Do we have any rocks that need to be collected? Let's get him collecting rocks for about 15 fucking hours a day. And no, it's not, Lisa. It's a Canadian guy. I don't even like to say the name. He literally took corn of his ex-wife and like slandered her just atrociously on the internet in a horrible way. You know, I'm all about internet and personal freedom of speech, but uh, that doesn't extend to slander, nor does it extend to defiance of a court order. I mean, it sounds weird, but I do believe in the courts. And it would be difficult for me to defy a court order to its face like that. You know, that says something about the hatred you have for your ex-wife when you're willing to literally tell a judge to fuck off. I'm not going to take the website down, send me to jail. See, certain states might handle that one differently.
California is the only state that has laws pertaining to that sort of thing.
Are you talking about revenge porn?
Yes.
Yeah, so Canada has a federal law regarding that now. This website is specific. What this is specific, it's not even corn slander. It's just like outright slander about her. It used to be the corn stuff. He took that down. But like literally it's just like a bashing website about his ex-wife. And the judge ordered them to take it down in the divorce. Like, regardless of anybody's free speech, when a judge orders you to do something in their active courtroom, you have to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Slander is technically legal in the United States. It depends on if it borders on defamation.
Oh, this is full-on defamation, I would say. We'll put his name out there. I'm happy to put his fucking name out there. His name is Patrick Fox. Oh, they sentenced him to 4 years in prison for criminal harassment. That sounds that sounds not over the top when you realize what he's doing, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't sound like a very tough thing.
It doesn't, except when you think about the charge, criminal harassment, as like legal people, we know that criminal harassment getting 4 years of incarceration, that's insane. Also, Tin Man has a question for you, T-Rex. How many hours a week do you drive? That? Remember your legal rules for the DOT.
You can drive a maximum of 77 hours in one week.
He can drive a maximum of 77 hours and would never go more. I'm going to read this article too, and then we're probably going to be done because we're coming on like 4 hours. But seriously. But here's the thing. I'm going to censor this article in real time to remove the names of his ex-wife. I just don't even want to be part of that. Like, shit. So, it says, a British Columbia man convicted of running a revenge website targeting his ex-wife has been arrested again, charged with continuing to defy court demands that he pull down the offensive website. Patrick Fox, 46, faces 2 new counts of breach of probation for operating the website contrary to orders from the BC Supreme Court and the BC Provincial Court. The site falsely accuses his former spouse of being a white supremacist, a drug addict, and a child abuser, and calls her a horrible, lying, sociopathic monster. It also contains intimate photos. Oh, so it does. The new charges come less than a month after he finished serving time for defying a previous court order to remove the site. On August 19th, a provincial court judge in Vancouver set the terms of his release and probation, again demanding that the website come down within 48 hours. That same day, a defiant new post appeared on his website. I told the judge that's just not going to happen, the entry states. They can lock me up for the rest of my life, but I will never take down the website. The post, entitled Dear David Eby, who is the Attorney General, actually he's the Premier of the province now, but he was the Attorney General at the time. He was the Attorney General when I worked there. Dear David Eby, taunts the judicial system and dares BC's Attorney General to rearrest him. They can lock me up for the rest of my life, but I will never take down the website, it continues. He was arrested in Vancouver on Thursday, and authorities have been unable to remove the Revenge website because it's operated through a server in a foreign country. If this was a Canadian web provider, it would be already down.
Yeah.
And also shame on the web provider. They should have pulled that down. With a court order like that, they should. You know how hard it is to get a fucking court order to pull down a website? The woman who now lives in the United States said in an interview with CBC News that she's very grateful the Canadian judicial system has taken the case so seriously. I'm very relieved that he's back in custody, and honestly, the buffer that the legal system has given me has just been a godsend. It's a very difficult when he's out of jail because I know that he's waiting and looking for anything that he can use to hurt me, and it's a very scary situation. Her lawyer said that the ex-husband's quick rearrest should serve as a wake-up call for anybody else thinking of posting a revenge site. This has been a precedent-setting case from the beginning. It demonstrates that the criminal justice system is taking internet harassment seriously. The most recent changes serve as a stark warning to online harassers that their conduct can attract serious criminal sanctions. Special Prosecutor Chris Johnson said that the Crown will be seeking the maximum penalty of 2 years in prison for his alleged breach of probation, and he praised the Vancouver police for making a quick arrest. Vancouver police did a great job in investigating an unrepentant Patrick Fox for repeatedly operating a website which damns and attempts to humiliate his former spouse. Those are not the words I would have used. The prosecutor said he'll be asking the courts to keep Fox behind bars pending trial. Fox, who in the past acted as his own lawyer, wasn't available for comment. They married. First of all, they married in Nevada. Also, Lisa, what are you asking? Oh, how many miles per gallon does the truck get? And how much to fill it up, Lisa? And also, he answered maximum 77 hours per week driving.
That's not true, though. Actually, a maximum is 70 hours a week.
70.
I messed up. So right now, on this trip, over the past 752.8 miles, I'm getting 9.5 miles per gallon. And to fill up the truck, it costs around $600.
$600?
Uh-huh. And that's just the truck, and that's just diesel. And it's another like $40 to $80 in diesel exhaust fluid, and then it's another $40 to $60 in fuel for the refrigerator unit.
Whoa.
And that's why everything's so expensive right now.
I guess.
Because that price is passed directly on to the consumers.
Did I miss any other questions before we get back to this article, which we will finish? Lisa also says, holy fuck. That's what I said, yeah. Lisa. Holy fuck. How many gallons is that tank?
So 2 tanks, both about 100 gallons.
So 200 gallons?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Back to the shithead.
No, but Mayor's saying, first of all, back when he used to drive a truck, his old truck he used to drive got 3 miles to the gallon, and he knows ones now days that get 7. You know one now that gets 9, right?
Yeah, this is a particularly light load. It's only 28,000 pounds. I can hold a mass of 40,000.
I already asked you what it was, and you said you didn't know.
No, I don't know what the product is, but I know how much it weighs because that's very important. Like,
well, next time, when I ask you that question, say, I'm not really sure, but it's 27,000 gross tons or whatever the fuck it is. That's probably too much. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's continue on. We'll finish up this article. Again, this is, this is beautiful. Here we go. So, the couple was married in Nevada in 2000 and lived together in Arizona. They had a son, but the marriage failed within a year and a bitter custody battle ensued. Oh, who could get us that? Nevada court judges or whatever? Wouldn't that be amazing? That custody battle? Holy shit. I wish I had
I
the
mean,
fucking abilities
all
to
court
look into
doc-
that.
all court documents are public domain unless they're sealed.
I know. Most divorces are sealed in a weird way. But anyways, so it says they had a son, marriage failed, bitter custody battle. Then she reported him to a U.S. tip line for living illegally in the United States, and he was deported to Canada. Like,
Imagine
oh,
being deported to
shucks.
Canada.
To Canada, right? Like, I shouldn't say any part of that because I don't ever want to be deported to Canada. By April 2014, the revenge website appeared online. CBC first broke the story in 2016. In 2017, he was convicted of criminally harassing her in what was found to be an attempt to ruin her life and force her to commit unaliving.
Ooh.
And then he wrote in an email, "Don't think for 1 second that anything will ever be more important to me than destroying you."
Holy crap.
Wow. Wow. I want to get this trial. Holy shit. In addition to criminal harassment, night, Jonathan. Have a good night.
Good night, Jonathan.
In addition to criminal harassment, Fox was also found guilty of shipping several pew-pews inside a computer to the United States.
Okay.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate every one of you for 300. He was sentenced to almost 4 years in prison, minus time served awaiting trial. He was released in 2018. His probation condition required him to take down the site, but it remained up. In 2019, he was charged with breaching his probation and taken into custody. And then 17 months later, he was sentenced to an additional 6 months for that breach, reduced to just 1 day due to time already served. Like the BC Supreme Court, the provincial court ordered that the website be pulled down. And again, it stayed up. Despite the new charges, the website remained online. In his last post taunting authorities, he foretold his own future. "By the time you read this, I will probably be back in custody. But in case you haven't figured it out, I just don't give a fuck." Fox is scheduled to make his first court appearance on these latest breaches of probation in September. In the meantime, the ex-wife said she's doing her best to get on with her life. "I will take any amount of time that I get to live a normal life. And when he gets out again, I will hold my breath and wait for the next thing that he does. Because that is my life, and that is what I do." Wow. Wow. I don't give a fox. Holy shit. See, to me, this would be a really great use of an anonymous hacker who wanted to take down that website anonymously.
We are anonymous. We are legion.
I don't know what anybody could do, but it seems to me that a lot of people I know might be smarter than this fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that.
Yes.
I didn't say that.
Yes, I do. No, you
say it.
didn't. No.
I didn't say any of that. But maybe one day. I don't know, maybe 30,000 subscribers. I don't know how many I'd need before I got that.
While I vehemently disagree with everything this piece of shit has done, I am mildly impressed by his conviction.
Me too, but that's why I'm saying they need to make prison less comfortable. You cannot tell me that you thrive on hate that much that you'll do years and years in prison. It's got to be too comfortable. There's something wrong there.
I don't know. I've met some rare people that are entirely driven by hate.
Oh, I'm aware. Listen, I have had such an amazing time hanging out with you tonight, my friend. I Tin
Well,
Man, you're
thanks for
right.
having
We
me.
are only hearing one side of the story. I am 1,000% willing to do that whole case if we could find it. I would. I'd love to, especially if it was actually in Nevada instead of the Canada, instead of in the Canada. In the Canada, we don't
Okay.
let court cases out the same way.
The Canada. Yep.
The Canada. Anyways, you guys.
Mark your bingo cards, y'all.
Yay! Oh, Canada. Anyways, listen, guys, seriously, appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you so, so much, T-Rex. Please drive safely. So important to us all. If you haven't yet, please go and subscribe to T-Rex. His channel is growing, and I want to see it grow, 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 grow. If
That's what
you
she
are,
said.
that's what she said. Of course, she said that. She's like, oh my God, make your channel grow so big. Turns me on. Seriously, I love you all. Please remember that I love you, I'm proud of you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm pretty sure I just yeeted T-Rex from the stream. Thanks again, T-Rex. Woo! Bye, guys.